Stop 6-7ing in the Twitch chat. No 6-7ing. Stop 6-7ing. No! Stop 6-7ing. No! Why did you all start 6-7ing? What are you doing? What are you doing? No 6-7ing. Rokunana. No! Even if it's in other languages. No 6-7ing. No 6-7. No 6-7. No 6-7. No, what's 6-7 in Spanish? 6-7? None of that either. None of that either. No, hold on, I'm running out of languages where I know how to count. Where I know how to count to 6-7. No, you cannot 6-7 in German either. No. No. 6-7. No. No. Illegal. 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 Anybody with a 6-7 stream streak? Oh no! Is somebody on their 6-7th stream? No! 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 Is 6-7 mean and bad? It's not that mean and bad. I am being silly. I am being silly. Yes, late. Look. I'll have you know that earlier I made a foolish decision. I was like, wow, my tummy feels kind of weird. I guess I better drink a cup of coffee. Surely this will help and not cause any further issues. This has nothing to do with why I was late, but this is a true story that did happen to me today. But yes, good evening to Yatagarasu, and good evening to Punk Asian, and good evening to Jake, and good evening to Panis, and good evening to Nijima Ari, and good evening to Uphill, and good evening to Baxter Crook, and good evening to Bagel Post, and good evening to Punk Asian, and good evening to Voodoo Person, and good evening to okay, I'm actually gonna say it correctly this time. Artaxerxes Rex. Artaxerxes Rex. Good evening. And also to DW. And good evening to Zully as well. Eggy, can you keep streaming until someone can subscribe for 6-7 months? How many months is 6-7 months? That's like, that's gotta be like 5 years in some, I think. That'd be like 5 years, 7 months. 5 years, 7 months. I mean, I'm coming up on... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm coming up on 5 years this year. This November will be 5th eggiversary. Oh no. Oh no, yeah. I think at you know, roughly this point next year, I think, somebody will be able to 6-7. Assuming they had been subscribed. Well, I think it's possible. If somebody had been subscribed for every month since like November of 2021, they would be able to be subscribed for 6-7 months. But I think by the time we hit that point, I think the meme will be dead, probably. Maybe. Quinquennium egg. Half a decade of egg. That's illegal. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. Didn't follow until December 2021. No! Because, like, well, keep in mind, though, for, like, at least for subscriptions, I was streaming before that. Like, when I say the 5th anniversary, it's like 5th anniversary of debut. Technically, I started streaming earlier that year. I have actually technically been around for 5 years at this point as a VTuber. Like, I think at this point, 5 years ago, I was still streaming with Baby Eggy. But, yeah, I was streaming. I was definitely streaming. Hello, Hickory. I will drink water. Hold on, give me a second. This just in, Eggy will graduate after getting sub perks for 6-7 months of stream. No! No! I will not be cursed by 6-7. I will not be cursed by 6-7. I must outlive 6-7. Glasses on? Okay. What do we win on our follow-versaries? I don't know. Do you want like a certificate? You want like a little certificate that you can like print out and put on your wall? That's like, I have subscribed to Eggy for 6-7 months. Because like, I don't know, even... Because when Twitch counts how many months you've been subscribed, right? It's not consecutive, right? Because like, I think there's definitely some channels where it says I've been subscribed for like 2 years, but it wasn't like 2 years consecutively. It was like a few months here, a few months there. Like, I'm trying to remember, like, for Bobeba. Because I'm pretty sure I've been consistently subscribed to Bobeba since at least summer of 2021. Maybe a bit later. Actually, no, I think it was later than that. I think it was probably more like February of 2022, maybe winter 2022. So it hasn't quite been 5 years, but... Mine's in August, so you got plenty of time to plan something. Gonna have to make a certificate that you like can put your name into. Congratulations to Baxter Crook. Do we need a ceremony to award these? Because I know Twitch actually, I think Twitch does have a way of, I know they have this. I don't remember where it is. Is it viewer rewards? You can get like a list of, followers list, activity. Is it monetization? Because there is a way where I can just like download a list of subscribers. Subscriber badges, bonus, subscription, discount, promotions, no. Community? Leaderboards? Is it under affiliate? No. Moderation? No, it wouldn't be under moderation, I don't think. Analytics? I wonder if it's under revenue. There is a way to find the list. I don't think I can find a list of all the well, I think maybe there's a list of followers. I know there is a way to find like a list of all your subscribers and like how long they've been subscribed and like who at any given time has like a gift subscription versus like one that they bought themselves versus like a multi-month thing.
Has planted BODEGARRAT.
Thank you, Panis. Thank you, Panis, for planting Bobeba. She will now be planted for another month. Yeah, you mean for the streamer? Yeah, I don't think it's public information, but the streamer can see it. So like at any given time, I can see like who is subscribed, at what tier, how long have they been subscribed. Was this like a gift or was it something they got themselves? Was it for like 1 month or was it multi-month? You can like just export all of that data. I don't think it's public though. I'm pretty sure it's not public. Yeah. But it does exist. It does exist. Hello, Nanora. Hello, it doesn't... Nanora exists. Because yeah, I think followers is public? Well, I don't know. Well, actually, okay, I guess followers is only sort of public. Oh, hello, Beppa. Hi, Beppa. Hi, Beppa. We're talking about lists of subscribers and if anybody can be subscribed for 6-7 months at this point. The answer is not quite yet, but they will be sometime about a year from now. A little less than a year from now. There should be, because then you can remove people from the first-time supporter badge to people. Oh, yeah, that's true. Who has the badges anyway? I know there is a way to find this, but I've totally forgotten what it is, and Twitch also, like, reshuffles their stuff. It reshuffles their stuff every once in a while, so it's like, oh, were you looking for this one thing in the menus? Good luck. Viewer rewards. I gotta make sure I get to 6-7 months. What are you at, Beba? Like, how long have you been... Like, if someone was subscribed to you for every single month since you became an affiliate, how long would that have been? Because I know you got affiliate before I did, I think. Like, you got affiliate long before I did. Or maybe not. Because I got affiliate, I think it was like June or July of 2021. Only subscribed to you 40 months. No! We still got another 20 months to go before 6-7. No! No! Who pinned 426.7? That's not the room code. That's not the room code. Wait, maybe it's subscriptions? Subscription names? Bonus subscriber benefits? Subscriber badges? Maybe it's under there. Roles manager? Followers list? No, that's just the followers. My assigned roles? Nah, I don't even know who's the founders are anyway. Yeah. I forgot I must have gotten it in May or June of 2021. Okay, so it wasn't... I thought it was, like, way earlier than for me. But... Please keep streaming for 2 years and 3 months. I'm trying! I'm trying! I aim to continue streaming for as long as possible. For as long as possible. As long as there is internet and as long as I have time and energy to do so. That's not the room number because I tried it, it didn't work. I'm thinking of like the concept of just like a guy who just like periodically boots up Mahjong Soul and just puts in 426.7 just like every so often just to see if it'll work. Like just trying to get into a random game because they just put in 426.7. Yeah, only a bit over a year following me from apparently. It feels like longer. Yeah, again, well, I don't know. I feel like VTuber years have to be counted like dog years or like cat years because it feels like 1 year of VTuber time. Because like VTubers have been around for what? Like we're in a decade of VTubing. Like as a concept in modern VTubing, we are on like a decade of it. And I guess it's like 1 year of VTuber time. There's so much that can happen. You know, 1 year ago, VShojo still existed. Like, 1 year ago, like, think of all the people... 1 year ago, Gargura was still active. 1 year ago, like, just think of all the things that were different even 1 year ago or 2 years ago, right? Like... Ah, thank you, Birthday Sweet Man.
Birthday Sweetman has planted Punkazone.
Asian. Good evening. Good evening. Supposedly it's creator dashboard, analytics, subscriptions, analytics for first time support thing. Oh, I'll try that. Creator dashboard, analytic. Why would it be in analytics? Analytics. Analytics. Well, that button that you're looking for doesn't exist. Oh, maybe it's in viewers? No, I don't think that's it. Yeah, I think they must have changed the menu since whenever your information was written. Because, I think they might have moved it around again because, the button that you need me to press doesn't exist. Your analytics is in another castle. Well, it's like they add new features, but then every time they add a new feature, they, like, reshuffle the way the menus work. So, yeah, the menu for specific things are so confusing and nested. Well, I mean, I guess there's a lot of things on Twitch that fall into multiple categories, right? Because sometimes it's like, okay... If you want a list of your subscribers, that could be in analytics because like how many subscribers you have is a number that can be analyzed. It could be in community because your subscribers are part of your community. Probably not in content. Maybe it's in monetization because, you know, when people subscribe, you get money from that. So like maybe it's in monetization. Is it in moderation? I guess moderation could give you a list of viewers. Could it be there? Is it in settings? Is it viewer rewards? That would make sense because... Like, there are things that you get to be rewarded with when you subscribe. Like, it could be in, like, there's like 5 or 6 categories it could be in. Ah, thank you again, Birthday Sweet Man. Thank you for planting Ira the Hybrid. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. We have Scam Train. We have Hype Train. Although I would not say this is a particularly hype stream. I would not say I'm an especially hype streamer. It's the chill train. The relaxed train. The nice train. The nice train. There's even a tab that shows you all the channels you're a mod in. Oh, really? The 6-7 hype train. No! Not 6-7. Not 6-7. Not 6-7. But yeah, they move things around. This is so sad. Can we get 6-7 gift subs? Someone's gonna find like there's gonna be like some Twitch user who's gonna be named like 67676767 or something. They're probably getting so many gift subs. I don't know. Can you call yourself 6-7 on Twitch? I'm not sure if that's like a... Because I know sometimes there are like... There's probably like a minimum number of characters you have to have, right? I don't think you can be like twitch.tv/67. 676767. The minimum length is 3. So yeah, so you'd either have to become like 667 or 677. I think I found how to get there. Check DMs. Okay. Okay. Okay, analytics, revenue, earnings. Okay. Analytics, revenue, earnings, subscriptions. You know what would make me really mad? Is if it's also like, oh, here we go. Download my subscriber list. There we go. Oh, we can find the founders badges too. I feel, oh no, oh, out of the founders badges, I feel bad because I think only one of these people I've seen in the past few months. 5 years ago was a long time ago. I have not seen any of these people in quite a while. Yeah, I know that you can like remove. You can remove it. You can remove founder from somebody. I know that's a thing you can do, but I also feel like on principle, I don't want to do that. I understand why it's a feature because like, if you have somebody who was like your founder and then like they then go on to be like the worst person alive and you have to ban them from your chat, I can totally understand why you would have like a feature to remove it. But I feel bad. I feel bad. I'm like, because like, I don't know if it's like if it's people who have been here for a while because they lost interest, but I think some of them are just people who stopped using Twitch entirely. Because I think there was people who like watched Twitch like, you know, during lockdowns, but then like once I could go outside again, then they just stopped. Yeah, I'm OG Eggplant, but also free to play. Yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody probably bought you a sub. Does it count if somebody was gifted something? Because I feel like some of these might have been gift subs. Because I know one of the people there was, I remember somebody who like gifted a ton of subs. So I wonder if like some of the other people on the list are there because that person gifted them a sub. Okay. I'm looking at the subscriber list. Interesting. 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 Yeah, she hates her founders. Gift subs do not give the founders badge. Receiving one at least. Oh, okay, okay. But yeah, I don't hate my founders. That's why I don't want to like eliminate them. I'm not like, I haven't seen a lot of these people in a very, very, very long time. But also, I'm not on bad terms with any of them. So I'm like, I'm not gonna kick them out, you know? Pre-debut eggplants for special hats and sashes. Well, I don't know. I don't know, like, being around for a long time is good, but it's also, some of it is like, I don't know. It's just kind of being there at the right time, you know? Like, I never feel bad about being late to something, unless it's something that everyone's been trying to push on me for years that I ignored and then I, like watched it later and I was like, oh, actually this is good. But like I feel like for most things I'm like, I don't feel bad about being late. Sometimes things happen when they happen. There is this one streamer who streams like once a year now, but used to stream a lot. The other month I used to sub on them and found out I actually had a founder all along. Yeah, that too. I guess like if someone... Well, because like, I don't think Twitch... I think as a creator you can like deactivate subscriptions, right? But I think... Like you can say subscribe. Like if your Oshi graduates, you can say... You can... Oh my god, speaking. You can stay subscribed to your graduated Oshi, right? Unless they like completely... Yeah, you have to turn off affiliate. Yeah, but there is a way to do that. But like if they don't do that, right? There, in theory, you could stay subscribed to your graduated Oshi forever, right? Fake EGGY fan. I have a few founders badges and channels I never watch. Yeah, well, it's, again, time passes. Time passes. Not only can you, people do. People do. Statistically, there's somebody here who, Statistically, there's somebody here who is subscribed to a graduated VTuber. At least one person, right? I don't think I'm subscribed to anyone who's graduated. I know it's a bigger deal, I think, on YouTube, because, like, if you subscribe to somebody on Twitch who is completely inactive, then, like, I think you can probably still use their emotes and stuff, right? Like, there's still a point to it. But I think, like, on YouTube, because so much of, like, VTuber subscription stuff is, like, membership content, I know it's a bigger deal when they turn off Menshi. Because, like, I know there's, like, a lot of people who will try to, like, if they hear that their Oshi's graduating, there's, like, the clock starts ticking to, like, back up all the membership content before, like, before it gets turned off, so... Imagine being subscribed to a graduated VTuber. Incredible. I like when streamer rebrands to a new channel and some people stay subbed to the old channel and the new one. Yeah. Oh, I think also too sometimes... has anybody ever, like, followed a channel and then, like, they end up, like, rebranding or changing their name or something, and then you, like, look in your subscription bar and you're like, who is this? Did I follow this person? Do I know you? I feel like that's happened to me a few times. Like, people I've unfollowed by accident and then had to follow again because I'm like, oops, it turns out I did follow you on purpose. It's just that you then changed everything about your channel and then I didn't recognize you. Oops. Oops. Because, like, I feel like even if you, like, really publicize your rebranding, if you're like, hello, everybody, I'm going to be changing all of my name and all of my social media handles and, like, everything about me, no matter how much you publicize it, there's always going to be somebody who missed the memo and is like, who? Yeah, I get subs to channels I've never heard of all the time. Yeah, oh, like gift subs? Where you're like, did I watch this person? Thank you, but did I watch this person? Yeah, there's a few people I followed who rebranded and made new accounts that I did not find out until, like, years later. Sometimes there are people who follow me on Twitter, like, especially for people who make a new account, there will be somebody who will follow me on Twitter, and I'm like, I feel like I probably know you. From where? I have no idea. Like, definitely there's people who, or I've seen this happen too with people who, like, have graduated and then, like, move to a new identity, where I'm like, I definitely know you. From where, I'm not sure. I definitely know you. Hello, Everinian. How are you? I'm fine. I wish I was a bird. I wish I was Let's Zhong. I wish I was a Mahjong tile. Hold on, I'm just setting up the zhong. Okay. Because I feel like, last time I played Zhong, was it the week that the servers went into maintenance? Here we go. It's loading. Yeah, you played Ricci City, yeah. I feel like the last time, yeah, it was like that week that it went into maintenance in the middle of the stream and we had to move to Ricci City. Maybe 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Because I remember last week I didn't have Mahjong Monday. And then, yeah, I think the week before we zhonged, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Hello, Eggman's niece. What? My uncle is not Dr. Eggman, I assure you. Yeah. Found out that Phoebe rebranded and went corpo when she announced that corpo was shutting down. Alright. Let's go zhonging. Okay, got that set up. We're good. There we go. There we go. We have zhong now. We have zhong. We have zhong. See? Not 42067. See? The number 6 does not appear. We can't 6-7 about this. 83478. Oh, thank you, Panis. Thank you, Panis. I'm gonna copy that into YouTube as well. And let me pin that on YouTube. There we go. She said 6-7. No! Are you all 11 years old? Have you all been lying to me? Is my target demographic actually like 10 to 12-year-olds here? Are you all 11 years old? Anyone who says 6-7 gets banned for being under 13. 6-7 years old. Nah. Eggy was 9 plus 10. Is this a trick question? Is 19 some new meme that I'm not aware of? 11 years old almost 3 times over. 11, 11, 11. 9 plus 10. 19 is an old meme you're not aware of. Okay, is there any other random numbers that are memes that I need to know about? What is that French meme with the numbers? Are you talking about like 80? 42 is the best meme. 23, 24, and 25. I feel like you guys are just lying to me now. I don't believe you guys anymore. I think you're lying to me. I think you're just like inventing a bunch of random numbers. You're just throwing random numbers at me now. You're trying to like 6-7ify like another number. You're just being like 35. Hee 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 hee. It's a 70s meme? Okay, well, I wasn't alive yet, so. Something about 420s in French. Yes, very true. 80 does technically mean 420. It means 80, but if you translate it directly, it's 420. Alright, zhonging time. Time for zhonging. 24 and 25 is SpongeBob? Okay, well, my mom thought we were too good for SpongeBob when I was a kid. I did not watch that much SpongeBob. The meme is 5 mille. I remember there was like a thing a while back where somebody was trying to get like a French streamer to say something in French that sounds like an English swear word. It was like I can't remember what it was. Sadue? Yeah, like there was like a trend of people asking French streamers to say like, oh, say this in French. Yeah, it sounds like D's nuts kind of, yeah. 5019. 5019. Oh, okay, yeah, 5019. I guess that makes sense. 63? No. I don't think I think it would have been 5019. Like that would be my best guess. Got him. It's too good for SpongeBob. Classism. No, okay. I feel like this is I've seen enough other people talking about this to feel like this was like an actual phenomenon. And I don't think I'm not sure how real it was, because I think some of it might have just been parents finding SpongeBob annoying and then like working backwards from that. But like definitely when I was a kid, my mom was like, "Oh, like if you, I think SpongeBob would make you dumber." And I feel like I think there was enough parents who believed this, because I remember seeing other people talk about it. Because I feel like when I didn't watch SpongeBob until I was like older. Like I'm trying to think, because I know when I was in like grade probably 4 or 5, I probably started watching Fairly Odd Parents, and I think at that point my parents were like, if you want to watch SpongeBob you can, but like I didn't particularly like SpongeBob, so I just never did. But I definitely remember being like between 6 and 8 years old, and my mom was like, no, you are not watching SpongeBob. We won't allow it. Between 6 and 7 years old. I was distinctly trying not to say those specific numbers. You do realize it. Oh, 5 minutes de français. J'essayais tellement de pas dire 6 et 7. There'll be no sponge in this household. Yeah, on ne regarde pas Bob l'éponge. Je crois qu'il y avait un... On l'a étudié. Quelqu'un quelque part l'a étudié que... les enfants qui regardent comme 10 minutes de SpongeBob, on avait des pires résultats sur un test ou un autre. Comparé aux enfants qui ont regardé comme un programme éducationnel ou ont fait des problèmes de mathématiques ou quelque chose comme ça. Mais je sais pas les détails de ça. C'est probablement quelque chose que ma mère a vu dans les nouvelles. Et puis... Haha! Je gagne en français! Je gagne en français! C'est pas beaucoup de points, mais je gagne. J'ai gagné. J'ai gagné. My babysitter was very anti-SpongeBob. Wait, ben... Je sais pas pourquoi. C'est parce que... Même si on n'aime pas comme les voix, on trouve un peu trop fort ou quelque chose. Pour ma mère, elle disait toujours, c'est comme, they're always screaming. Ils crient toujours. Ça c'était son problème avec SpongeBob. Mais il y avait des autres émissions de télé, il y avait des autres programmes qui avaient comme des voix qui c'était pas si différent. Comme Fairly Odd Parents, c'était à peu près le même, mais mes parents n'avaient pas un problème avec ça. The streamer speaking tongue 7-9. 7-9. 7-9. Hi chat, hi Eggy. Bonjour Linkstorm. On m'a dit sur Twitch, je dois parler en français pour 5 minutes. Ça fait à peu près 2 minutes. Il y a encore 3 minutes qui restent. I remember that from Hamilton. Quoi? 79? Est-ce que ça c'était de Hamilton? Je me souviens pas. Je me souviens pas. Now taking 1 to 9 for the music part with their son. 1, 2, 3. Ah oui, je me souviens ça. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8, 9, 10. Puis 11, c'est 11. Je vais pratiquer mon français. J'ai une autre entrevue pour un emploi demain et c'est probable qu'il va me demander de parler français. C'est très probable. C'est pas nécessairement un emploi où... il faut parler français, mais c'est pas nécessairement un emploi où on va toujours parler français chaque jour, mais probablement dans l'entrevue, durant l'entrevue, il y aura une partie en français. Je trouve que c'est toujours comme... Je suis bilingue. Je suis assez bilingue pour mettre sur mon CV. Mais je trouve quand je vais aux entrevues, j'oublie tout mon français. Quand il faut que je dois parler français. Did I hear faux pas in natural use? Ben, faux pas, ça veut dire en anglais, c'est must not. Ça, c'est la traduction directe. C'est comme, il ne faut pas trop manger. En anglais, ça serait like, you must not eat too much. Dakara. Je sais pas, on commence à parler en japonais. Alors, en anglais, on dit faut pas, comme c'est quelque chose qu'on ne devrait pas faire. Il faut pas faire ça. Mais en français, c'est un faux pas. Peut-être on l'utilise encore comme ça. Mais c'est un peu... C'est pas nécessairement la chose la plus naturelle à dire. Il faut pas faire des faux pas. J'espère que Monsieur Jimmy Neutron peut reconnecter. All right, I think we're back to English. We're back to English. Faux pas. Faux pas. A faux pas. In French, it literally means must not. But like, again, you can't really use it in English the same way. I just lost my internet. I'm coming back. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, one thing I am glad with this game, because I've definitely played games before where, like, if one person disconnects, then, like, everybody, like, the game just ends. I think it only does that here if the host disconnects. Because, like, I've definitely played other games before where it's like, oh... if the host disconnects, then it's like everyone is, like, the game is just done. But... yeah. Like I said in French, I have another interview tomorrow, so I'm like, I'll probably have to speak French. I don't think most of the interview will be done in French, but I'm definitely gonna have to speak French. Probably. Eggployment real? Maybe! If I do well, eggployment real. Is it true that French is a real language? Yes, and it's actually spoken in multiple countries. Interesting fact about French. French exists. You were making up... Isn't it like in Morocco? They actually speak French in France. It's actually spoken in France. Several former French colonies still speak it. Yes. It's also spoken in many parts of Canada. Yeah. Iggy, drink water? You're right. You're right. Is it not just Cubic? What? French? Like, the French language? Water the eggplants? Okay. Water for you too. In Canada, Quebec is cubic. No, I can say, I know for sure it's pronounced Quebec and not Quebec. I think only Americans call it Quebec. It's like the Toronto kind of thing, where it's like, you might say Toronto if you're like a newscaster, but like anybody who lives in Toronto is gonna call it Toronto. I think the closer people live to Toronto, like the less they pronounce that second T. Toronto, yeah. Actually, I think I remember, when I saw Ado in Toronto last year, when she greeted, like, everybody, she said hello Toronto, or she said hello Toronto. She said it the Toronto way. Which I'm like, okay, somebody on their team was paying attention. Somebody on their team was like, yeah, you gotta pronounce it this way. You saw Ado? Yeah, I saw it last year. The North America tour. I just discovered her like 3 weeks ago. Like you just found out about her? Like, I know I just talked about not being too self-conscious about being late for stuff, but I think... I think this one I can criticize you for. This one I can criticize you for, I think. Bro is late! Bro is late! Bro is so late! Bro is like 5 years late. A child... Like... Between the time when Ado first became popular and when you found out about her, like, a child became old enough to start kindergarten. Yeah, I should say such a banger. Girl got 5 the same vocal control in time. Yeah, well, again, I feel like, for me, I'm not the world's biggest Ado fan. Not that there's anything wrong with her, it's more just that, like, she has a lot of range in terms of styles. So to me, it's more just like, whether I like her music is heavily dependent on which producer she's working with. Because I just think some people show a bit more restraint when they're writing for her than others, I feel. But again, I feel like that's less of a criticism of Ado herself and more of a criticism of whatever producer she's working with. I am so good at Mahjong today. I'm zhonging so well. I'm gonna have big numbers. Look at this big number. Look, that's a big number. That's a really big number. Look at this big number. And look at everybody else's tiny numbers. See? Okay, well, 1 is not a very big number, but like... I am big egg winning. Big egg winning. 1 is a very small number, but it's because I have the biggest number. Yeah. Small number humiliation. Oh, look at you with Barraclough with 22,600 points. And look at Jimmy Neutron with 19,400 points. And look at Punk Asian with a tiny, tiny little 17,000 points. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Thank you for playing. Alright, yeah. I just know I have, I think, 12 to 15 liked songs with her on Spotify. Some tracks just aren't for me. Yeah, I think the ones that I like more, I think, are the ones... I like the ones for One Piece. I think the thing is some people... I think with some songwriters, I feel like they're like, she has a powerful voice. And then they write a song for her that I guess is supposed to capitalize on that. But it's one of those things where they have her going 100% the entire time. And I think that for me kind of kills it, because I feel like there's no building. It just feels like a big wall of noise. Yes, enjoying it, eh? Look, how often do I get I mean, I guess I win sometimes. I was like, how often do I get to go, oh ho 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 ho? Eggy can have a little Ojo-sama laugh as a treat. Egg, how come Flayon is posting on Blue Sky? I don't know. Ask him. Why are you asking me? He actually has had the account for a while. Because I know that when some people started moving to Blue Sky, there was maybe, like... I noticed there was, like, out of Hololive and Holostars, there was, like, I think 7 or 8 people, I think, that moved to Blue Sky. Because I remember, some people started posting regularly and kept going with it. Like, I think Shinri and Ruse both had been posting consistently on Blue Sky. I think Callie posted there for a while, but then stopped. I think Mio was the same. But then there was a lot of people who I think they probably just made an account, but then they didn't touch it at all for a while. Like they just like, I guess, because the thing is with Blue Sky, I feel like there's not like an immediate need to get usernames, right? Because of the nature of how Blue Sky usernames work, you don't really have to worry about like impersonation, right? Because like the real one will have like VTuberName.hololive.tv in there, and the other ones won't, right? Also, good evening, Taishi. Hello. Yeah, you can go with your corpo thing. It's good. Yeah. So I think because of that, there wasn't as much of like a massive rush to go like, you know, claim the username as there might have been on another site if it worked differently. Because like, again, no one can impersonate you because nobody else is allowed to have that URL, right? So I think, yeah, but Flayon was one of the people I think Narissa, I think there's a Narissa Blue Sky account that I think also just like got made but never got touched. Because yeah, there was a handful of members that made accounts and just like did not touch them. And yeah, I think his was one of those for a while. And I think there's probably still few, there might even be more that I don't know about. Do you think you would have made good decisions if you dropped really popular mainstream music at the age of 17? I mean, probably not, but like I said, any criticisms I have of Ado's songs are like criticisms of the songwriter, not so much of her. What if I register as like Suisse Hololive? I don't think that's how it works, I think, because Blue Sky, the URLs, because the default one is like, you know, username.bluesky.social. That's like the default one. I think you can only put, I don't know how it works if you want to put in a website, but I feel like you have to be able to like somehow prove that this is yours. I'm not 100% sure though, because I haven't tried it. Because like I don't really have like niceeggy.com or like niceeggy.tv. You have to own the website or have someone else put like a little thing on the DNS. Okay, so you have to like, okay, so there is a way that you do have to prove that like this is your website. I mean, I gotta say it's not a bad system for preventing impersonation. It's a little inconvenient probably for some people, especially if you don't really have like a website of your own, but like, it's not a bad idea. It's definitely a better idea than whatever Twitter was trying to do. Yeah, so you can technically register suisse.hololive. Yeah, it just means that you would be, like, very flagrantly not real, though. You'd be like those people who are, like, replacing the... Like, what's like, Librarian's Twitter handle? Like, it's, like, Northern Lion, but it's, like, the L is, like, actually a capital I kind of thing. That's just, like, the Blue Sky equivalent of that. Hololive where each L is just like a capital I. Yeah. It would be like some weird nonsense like that. Yeah, it's not Suisse at Stellar Studio. Oh yeah, like that's another thing that's happened in like the past week. I was saying like, we were talking earlier about how like so much happens in 1 year for like VTubing. That's another thing that happened, like, between, like, last week and now. Not that I think it's gonna change too much, though. Hee-ha-ho-ha! Yippee! Not big win, but it's winning. Hmm. Because yeah, I didn't look too much into the Stellar Studio thing, but it's not. I don't think too much is changing. Like most of what seems to be changing feels like internal, if that makes sense. Like it mostly seems to be like a business thing where it's like, okay, there's probably like different management, and if somebody is trying to contact Suisei, then they're gonna have to go through a different channel. But other than that, like it doesn't seem like she's not leaving Hololive. It seems that like I'm assuming she'll probably still be participating in Hololive events. Yeah, it seems more internal. A new way to organize managers. Exactly, yeah. Like she's still active. She's still gonna be doing the same stuff. I'm assuming she's still participating in Hololive stuff. Like I don't think anything is changing other than like the name. But because isn't she already signed to like another label, I think? Like is she signed to Universal Japan or something? I feel like she was signed to like something else, I think, already, right? Yeah. Reorganization of resources, I guess, using the studio resource instead of Hololive. Yeah, well, I'm just thinking maybe she just has like a big enough management team that it just makes more sense to have them off doing their own thing rather than to have them in as part of Hololive specifically. Because I imagine she does, like, it's not just that she's like popular, but it's also that she does a lot of things. So I imagine that like she probably has like a bigger team even before the formation of like Studio Stellar. Like I imagine she'd probably have more, just like a bigger team of people in general. But I don't know. This is entirely guessing. Don't you guys love guessing about things you don't know about? I love guessing. I love giving uninformed opinions. I love making educated guesses. Everyone loves a little social speculation. Nano desu. I imagine even going to a cover every time versus, oh, the studio's dedicated to what I need but still closely related. Nah! Nah! I shouldn't have been too excited about winning last time. Nah! Yeah. Because, like, I mean, in reality, now that I think of it, I'm like, I feel like I've only ever had, like, a vague idea of, like, what VTuber management is. Because I know that, like, I imagine managers are the people who are, like, I always speculate it's like, okay, they're, like, kind of the connection between the outside world and the talent, right? So, like, if you're, like, a brand and you're, like, we would like your VTuber to sponsor our, like, we'd like to sponsor your VTuber. Promote our products, kind of thing, right? They might also schedule, yeah. And I know there's probably, like, other assorted tasks depending on the VTuber, right? Like, I imagine if it's somebody who does a lot of, like, music stuff, I imagine probably the responsibilities are different. Or somebody who does a lot of, like, collabs, the responsibilities are different. Personally, if I had a manager, I would make them run my Twitter. I feel as time goes on, I'm like, I think this would be necessary. Like, if I had a manager, I would make them run my Twitter so that I can actually quit Twitter. You would force them to a whack? I mean, maybe? I always thought what I would do if I had like a manager is that like I would maybe, I'm sure there's got to be a way to do this where like you set up like a Discord bot. Like I just have like a Discord bot that would be set up to like show me stuff in the EGGY art tag so that like if somebody posts fan art then I can still see it. But then I would probably go through those and be like, just tell the manager like this one, retweet this one, and so on. Like I think I would have to, because that's the thing, I'm like, I even Slepa-Wax lately. I'm like, I don't want to stop Slepa-Whack, but I'm thinking I might have to modify the way I do Slepa-Whack because, I mean, to be fair, some of this is just a side effect of being unemployed for a long time. But I feel like it's not that I struggle to wake up in the morning, but I feel like it takes 9,000 years to get out of bed. And I feel like a large culprit is phone Twitter. And I know people are like, oh, just delete the app. I use it in browser. I deleted the app like a year ago. I'm using this in browser. Like, I will wake up, like I'll set an alarm lately. I'll set an alarm. It'll be for like, I don't know, like 9:30, 10 a.m. or something. And I'll wake up and then I will browse Twitter for like an hour already. Like I feel like it would actually, if I had a manager, it would actually be in the manager's best interest to run my Twitter because I would probably never get anything done if I had to do it myself. Just delete your phone. I have a laptop and an iPad. But yeah, that's the EGGY problem. So I'm thinking, I don't know, something I want to see if I can try this week is if I set an alarm on my alarm clock instead of on my phone, maybe. And then I guess maybe, ooh, yay. Yippee! We're so back. We're back. Well, I mean, we're not that back, but like we're more back than we were before. So I got that going for me. Okay, actually, we're way more back than I thought. Okay. Child locking your internet access. Here's the thing. I think what I need to do is physically put my phone upstairs at night. What I'm thinking maybe I'll try tonight would be I would like set an alarm on my alarm clock or on my iPad or some other device, and I would keep that downstairs. And then I would put my phone upstairs. So like when I get up in the morning, I would actually have to physically go upstairs and get my phone. I don't know if this will work out for me, but I feel like it helps a lot. What, clicking your tongue or going upstairs? Unfortunately, I tend to feel cold and bring my phone back into bed. Are you using your phone as a heat source? Are the eggplants like poor orphans and you're like warming your hands by the heat of your cell phone? All that's made me good at is sleeping through my alarm. That's my concern. That's why I'm like, okay, I should probably give it a try while I'm still unemployed and the stakes are lower. But yeah, I'm just thinking if I keep my phone upstairs. Because like if I need to check Discord or something, because like I actually... Like, I can technically use Twitter from my iPad, but I feel like I don't just because it loads slower compared to my phone. So I just get annoyed and don't use it. But I can still check Discord, and I can still... Most of what I've been using my iPad for, actually, has been, like, borrowing ebooks from the library and reading them. So... I guess I could become the kind of person who reads in the morning. Yeah, it worked for me for a little bit where I didn't go I get up to turn off the alarm, then wake up with 2 phones in bed. 2 phones? I mean, luckily I only have 1 phone. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I have 2 phones. Ah, I see. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So the sleep-a-whack times, they might not be as accurate as, like... Because obviously it will be when I go upstairs and no! I remember somebody once said never put down a 2, and now I'm like learning that. I think I won on a 2 the previous game. Yeah. Solution, sledgehammer wall brings sun into the basement. She lacks the morning sun. I don't know. I think it's been better, but I think it's just because I've been waking up later yesterday. Or, like, lately. And, like, by the time I wake up, the sun is, like, fully shining. It's, like, at the right angle. But also, maybe it also just hasn't been cloudy in the past few days. Yeah. Upstairs, on the other hand, should help a lot. Well, it's like I have to go upstairs to eat breakfast anyway. Like, if I put my phone... I think I might put my phone in the kitchen overnight. Since I have to, like, go upstairs to eat breakfast anyway. Like, I'm heading there anyway. So... Yeah. You own grog when you have to move a lot. Yeah, because the thing is, I feel like right now, lately, the only thing that gets me out of bed is the panic of being late. And it's like one of those things where it's like, I know I should be able to get out of bed more easily, but I just don't want to have to live that way. Partly because, like, feeling panicked on a daily basis is probably not good for you. But also because, like, if there's no stakes, then there's nothing to get me out of bed, right? Like, if there's nothing to be late for, then, like, I will just simply go back to sleep. Yeah, being late wakes me up good. Yeah, because that's the thing, is, like, I can get out of bed if there's something to get out of bed to, like, if there's somewhere I need to be. Like, if I have an appointment and that's like, oh, your appointment is at, like, noon, and I'm like, I need to get out of bed now. Or if it's like, oh, you have to go to work, and you need to not miss the bus for that. And then I will go, and then I will get out of bed. But, like, if I don't have a specific obligation, there's nothing stopping me from just going honkshoe again. No steaks? No steaks? Not even a slice of beef? If I don't want to be late, I just wake up 4 hours early or simply don't sleep enough. Well, again, because I'm talking more on a daily basis. Because like I said, if I have something to wake up for, like if I have like obviously I have an interview tomorrow, I will probably be, I mean, I sure hope I will be awake for that. But I think that like, it's more for like a daily basis thing. On days where I don't have anywhere to be in the morning, right? How do I get myself out of bed for that? That is the conundrum. Oh, oops, I shouldn't have done that. Oops, oops, oops. Oops, 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 oops. Worry about being late, just don't sleep. No, because then you're sleepy. And you can't do whatever it is you're going to properly. Because, like, for the record, I don't have any trouble sleeping. Like, usually when I go to bed, for the most part, I can just fall asleep pretty easily. It's the getting out of bed part. The egg just wants to sleep. That's all it wants to do. Hobbies include sleeping. Dislikes include being a whack. This is the eternal problem nowadays. If I want to do anything, I have to wake up to do it. I got the worrying about the appointment even though it's in 5 hours sickness. Yeah, I have the habit of like totally forgetting that certain hours exist. Like, I remember once it was like 10:30 and I think I had something that was like supposed to be at like 2. And I was like, oh no, if I leave now, like, I'll have to make it there in, or no, it was at like 1. Either way, it was like, I'll have like an hour to make it there because I totally forgot about like the existence of like 11 a.m. Somehow my brain was just going straight from like 10 a.m. to 1 and I was like, oh no, like there's an entire hour between 11 a.m. and noon. I don't know how I forgot about that. But yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah, appointment in a few hours. Time to do nothing and worry for 2 of them. Yeah! For me, it's more like, if I have something planned that day, the entire day becomes about whatever it is that's planned, right? So if it's like, oh, I have an appointment for 5 p.m., then, like, the entire day now revolves around 5 p.m. Like, I can't start doing anything. You want me to do something else before 5 p.m.? I can't do that. What if it makes me late? You want me to, like, do laundry at 10 a.m.? No, I can't do that because it might make me late for, like, my appointment several hours later. I must sit there and think about the appointment at 5 p.m. Actually, speaking of laundry, I just remembered I actually have laundry. I probably need to move. I'll do it after this game. Whenever that ends up being. It's 5 p.m. Check the clock. It's 10:03 a.m. Oh no, it's 5 p.m. It's 10:04 a.m. I don't think it's quite like that. It's more just like, I need to be responsible and like... Because I remember that was like a thing my parents told me a lot as a kid, was like, if we were leaving to go out somewhere soon, my parents would say, don't start anything. Like, as in like, don't get too involved with anything you're doing. Because, like, we're leaving in, like, 15 minutes, right? So I feel like I took that to heart now, so it's like, if I have anywhere to be, it's like, don't get too involved with anything ever. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. You gotta sit there for several hours, and then eventually go, like, brush your teeth and put on makeup, I guess. Yeah, don't start a zhong game. Yeah, don't start zhonging. We're leaving in 15 minutes. Alright, this is ridiculous goofy playing, but... Yeah. I think plane traffic is the worst one to think about. Are the planes at the airport just being like, meep meep? Yeah, plane travel, I guess. Well, because, like, plane travel is a lot of, like, you should be early just in case. But then you end up, like, I feel like every single time I've flown, I don't think I've ever had, like, an experience where I had to, like, wait a long time to get through security. I feel like every time I've flown, I've been, like, showing up 3 hours early. And then I get through security in, like, maybe, like, 20 minutes. And then I'm like, cool, now I have to wait, you know, 2.5 hours before boarding the plane. I mean, I guess it's fine, because, like, I don't really mind being in airports. But also, maybe it's just because of, like, every time I've traveled is usually for something fun, right? Like, I've seen some people be like, oh, I hate airports. But, like, to me, I'm just like, every time I'm in an airport, it's because something fun is about to happen, or I'm just coming back from something fun, right? Maybe if I was, like, if I worked a job where, like, I had a lot of business trips or something, or if I was, like, constantly visiting relatives on the other side of the country or something, maybe I'd feel differently. But, like, I feel like with most airports, it's like, I'm going to trip. I'm going to convention. I'm going to see friend. Yippee! So I don't mind it as much. When I was flying to Europe, I spent like 9 hours in the airport in Iceland. Was this like planned? Was it like a awkward layover situation, or was it like you just showed up really, really early? Because like I know layovers sometimes it's one of those things where it's like you can have you don't want too short of a layover because then you risk like missing your flight. But then sometimes like if the layover is way too long, then it's like, okay, cool, time to figure out what to do for 7 hours. Yeah, it was an awkward layover. It was supposed to be 4 hours and got delayed. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm trying to think, because I feel like I've only... I don't think I've ever had any super long layovers. Like, I think, yeah, my layover when I think both of my layovers when I went to Japan were, like... less than 3 hours, I think. Alright, congratulations, Zully. Congratulations. And thank you, Taishi and Nanora, for playing. 4th place by 1,000 cuts. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah, Iceland Air is awesome, by the way. I still think about the blueberry juice I was served, and I had the seat next to me empty on the way over. Yeah. I think, I don't know, everyone keeps telling me, like, oh, if you're flying to Japan, you should fly, like, with a Japanese airline. It's just that, like, I don't think any Japanese airlines fly to where I am, so if I wanted to do, like, a direct flight, I don't think I can, I think I have to go with a Canadian airline. But... okay, give me a moment. You guys can still join, but I do have to, I do have to move my laundry. Give me a second. Give me a second. Where is it? Here we go. I will be back momentarily. Enjoy whatever face I'm about to make. Eggplants, I regret to inform you that I have once again forgotten a tissue in the pocket of some sweatpants that have gotten white flecks all over the rest of the load of laundry. It is a sad truth, but it happens. It happens quite frequently. Was it a massacre in there? Not quite. I think it was just one tissue. Still a little bit annoying. Oh wait, no, maybe it wasn't a tissue. Oh god, it was worse. I think it was a receipt. Oh. It must have been a receipt. Because I think today after I went to the gym, I went and did groceries. And then I put the receipt in my pocket of my sweatpants. And then when I got home, I took off the sweatpants and put them in the hamper and took a shower and changed into new clothes. Yeah, I think it was the receipt. I mean, it's not like, again, how much I spent on food is already in the, it will show up in my bank account. So I'm not concerned about, like, remembering what I spent, but, like, I am kind of mad that it disintegrated. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. But yeah, also, I'm sorry it took too long because I had a lot of laundry that needed to be hung up on hangers. That load involved a lot of, like, sweaters and such. Sweaters and the like. But, yeah, laundry. I don't know, I was considering, like, doing a load of sheets, but I think it might be a little too late for that. There's always tomorrow, and also the rest of time. There will always be another day to wash my sheets. But that's what we tell ourselves all the time, isn't it? It's already 9 p.m. And I do need my sheets for going to bed, so yeah, maybe that'll be a tomorrow problem, I think. I don't know. Every time I hear people talk about how often you're supposed to wash your sheets, I'm like, nah. Nobody's doing that unless they, like, live in a hotel. Like, isn't it supposed to be, like, once every 2 weeks? Only one set? Yeah, I only have one set of sheets. Like, technically there are other sets, it's just that, like, this one... I mean, maybe... I guess because I'm in the basement, I only really need one set. When I lived in previous EGGY City, I would have a separate set for winter and for summer. Because, like, the sheets for summer would not be warm enough to sleep with in the winter, and then the sheets in winter would be, like, way too hot for summer. But I think because I'm in the basement, it's cooler, but it's, like, more temperate, I guess. So, like, I can get away with one set year-round. Now, mind you, I still wash it. But yeah, I only have one set. I also have, like, a comforter, but that isn't a duvet. Because, like, back in previous EGGY City, I had a duvet with a duvet cover, which has its upsides and downsides, right? Because, like, on one hand, if you need to wash it, you just take the duvet out and then you wash the cover. But on the other hand, it also means that, like, the duvet was constantly getting bunched up at the back of the duvet cover. So the regular comforter doesn't have that problem, but it is a bit more of a, task to wash. Because you kind of do have to, like, put it in the wash, and then you put it in the dryer, but, like, only for a little bit at a time. Because it's, like, big enough that, like, I don't think it's gonna, like, catch on fire or anything, but, like, it can get, like, weirdly wrinkled if you... Say it right, duvet? No, duvet. This is how people say it. Nobody calls it a duvet. I refuse. But yeah, 2 sets minimum seems like a good amount because things happen. Me with my ancient Yu-Gi-Oh! Bed sheets I still have when I was a kid. No, I mean... I don't know. I only have one, but also this was a gift from my mom, so I'm like, I can't just be like, can I have a second one? Have a second one, please? But, yeah. I don't know, people are like, wash your pillowcase once every 2 weeks. I guess the pillowcase is the easy one because you just have to put it back on the pillow. Like, it's not like a huge task to put back, but yeah. But maybe I would not have to wash my sheets as often if I was not constantly in my bed. Maybe if I was sitting in the living room or literally anywhere else. I don't know, I guess now that I'm like sort of on my own right now, like, because I feel like when I was living with Eggy parents, and I feel like this is probably the case for everybody, but I feel like I would not come out of my room very much, mostly just because, like, if I'm in my room, I feel like that signifies, like, I am doing something, please do not bother me right now. Whereas I feel like if I would do the same thing, like, if I'm playing a video game in my room, it's like, I will be unbothered, whereas, like, if I'm playing a video game in the living room, I will not be unbothered. Like, it's like, leaving your room has the implication that, like, you are not doing anything of great importance, so yeah, then I don't leave my room much. But I feel like that's the case for a lot of people who live with their parents. It's like, why do you never come out of your room? It's like, well, every time I come out of my room, I'm asked to do something. So I guess also too, like my room feels private in a way that, like, I don't know, does anybody else get really embarrassed by the question of what are you doing or what are you watching? Even if what I'm watching isn't something that's, like, embarrassing, just being asked feels embarrassing, you know? Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Like, I feel like when I was a kid, I would always be like, even if what I was watching was not embarrassing, even if what I was watching or doing was, like, perfectly normal, I would, like, just get into the habit of, like, covering up whatever I'm doing. Like, minimize the tab when somebody walks into the room, regardless of what the tab actually was, you know? For me, it's not just embarrassing, it makes me very uncomfortable. Same, yeah, like, it's... Yeah, me with VTubers blasting through my speakers. Yeah, I almost always watch things with headphones. I very rarely watch things without headphones, even if I'm by myself. Because, like, I remember going to a friend's house once, and we were watching, like, I think this was in high school, and we were watching, like, Game Grumps clips on her tablet. And I just remember she had it, like, on full speakers. And I remember, like, at one point her parents got home, and she just kept having it play on full speakers, and I'm, like, looking around, I'm like, you're okay with this? You're okay with this? You can do that? Yeah. I've been trying to kick that habit, but it's not easy. It just got worse over the years. Yeah, well, it's like... I don't know. There's nothing more embarrassing than having to explain yourself, regardless of what you're actually trying to explain, you know? I remember also, too, once... to this day, I still have no idea what they were talking about. I was at work once. I think this was back, like, 2018 or 2019. I was doing retail job. And at one point I was just talking to my coworker, and at one point they said, "Why are you doing that with your hands?" And I was not aware I was doing anything unusual with my hands. And since then I was just like, I don't think they were trying to be rude. I don't know why they asked that, and to this day I still have no idea what they meant by that. Why are you doing that with your hands? I don't know what I was doing with my hands. I thought I was being normal. I thought I was standing in a normal way. Apparently not. But now I'm thinking about that all the time. I'm like, am I doing normal things with my hands? Like, at this point, I feel like you could probably just, like, stress somebody out, like, purely by just saying, why are you doing that? But then not elaborating on what it is you mean. Like, you're just sitting there and someone's like, why are you doing that? And you're like, what? But yeah, it's like, what are you watching? I don't know. YouTube. I don't know, I guess for me too, it just feels, I guess it sort of feels like sometimes being asked, like, what are you doing, feels like it carries the implication that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing right now, I guess. But maybe that's just me reading into it too much. But I feel like, yeah. I feel like, yeah, like, so true. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. I'm glad it's not just me, like, misinterpreting other people's words. Because, yeah, I feel like usually, maybe, I don't know. I feel like as a kid, like, if parents or teachers would ask, like, if you're doing something and they say, what are you doing? You would be like, oh, I'm reading a book. And they're like, okay, cool. Could you start solving these math problems instead? Like, I feel like maybe I feel like when I was a kid, that was the case. Like, people ask what you're doing with the intention of telling you, actually, you're not supposed to be doing that right now. You're supposed to be doing this. So I feel like maybe that just, like, got drilled into my brain. I'm like, what are you doing implies, like, oh, you're doing something wrong. Even if you're not. Wording and tone makes things sound so different. I guess, yeah. But I don't know. Why are you guys typing like that? Yeah, do you talk about what you're into with family? Not particularly. I think the thing is that both me and my parents have kind of just, like, agreed that, like, a lot of our interests, like, my parents don't know much about anime or VTubers or video games or Japan. Like, and they've just kind of decided, they're like, yeah, we're never gonna understand this. So, I can, like, I feel like at some point, like, I would talk about my interests with my parents, but I feel like it eventually hit a point, probably around the time when I started getting into anime, where my parents are like, yeah, we're just not, there's just gonna be, like, hobbies we're just not gonna understand. And, like, I don't know, I guess there was a point, we're well past that point, but I remember there was a point where I'm, like, kind of feeling like I'm waiting for my parents are waiting for me to become normal again. Like, at some point I, like, diverge from what they would have expected, and they're, like, waiting for me to just, they'll be like, oh, she'll come back around. And it's like, no, I'm still have the same interests that I did before. It's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal. I don't think my parents are, like, disrespectful about it. I think it's more just, like, I don't know. I guess as a parent, eventually you do have to deal with the fact that you may not understand your children and their interests and hobbies. And that's okay. There are plenty of people my age that, like, aren't interested in my hobbies either. And there's nothing wrong with that either. And, like, I don't know. I guess also, too, for a while, I feel like when me and my sister were younger, because I guess there's a point where, like, as a parent, you don't really have time to have many, like, hobbies and interests. And then once your kids get older and you have a bit more free time, then you kind of get back into things. Like, I know my parents my mom recently started learning clarinet. She's been taking lessons. And, like, yeah, she's been having hobbies again. But yeah. Yeah. I don't think my parents could learn Zhong either. I don't even think either of my parents really play a lot of card games. They probably know some. Like, I remember playing cards with my dad as a kid. But I don't know. I don't know if they would go for Zhong. Zhong might be a step too far. Can't even get other friends who are also weebs to play Zhong, so you gotta learn Zhonging. Can't even. My parents are down to learn Zhong. I should probably teach them soon. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not a. I'd say, like, Zhong is probably not any more complicated than most card games, right? But yeah, it's like an hour to teach. Yeah. It's not like, again, it's probably not more complicated than the average card game. I think it's just the hurdle for some people is probably just the fact that it's tiles instead of cards. Because I guess cards are something that, like, people are familiar with versus tiles, which is like, this is a thing that has a similar function but also looks completely different. Also, I imagine if you can't read kanji, like if you can't read the kanji for the numbers, it might get a little more confusing too. Because I feel like most tile sets don't have like numbers written on them. Even for me, like I turn on the numbers when I'm playing Mahjong Soul, but like if the numbers aren't on the tiles sometimes, like I can still play, I'm a little slower. I feel a little bit slower. Especially for, yeah, again, like man tiles, because like the other tiles, like for Pin and So, like you can just like count. It's like, yeah, there's like 5 circles on this, so it's probably a 5. But like for some of the other ones, like you just have to know. You just have to know. And probably, again, I guess the dragons are usually like have the corresponding colors, so it's not a huge deal. But like for the wind tiles, definitely you need to know. I can read kanji though, so it's not a problem. But they cannot. I guess it was like... I think I talked about it once. I had a friend in my Japanese class send me a letter. And they had like sent it, they had like addressed it, they'd written my name in Japanese. And so my grandma saw the letter and marked it as unknown, and then I saw it on the table and I was like, wait, that's not unknown, my name is literally on it. And then I realized that like, yeah, my name's on it, but my grandma doesn't know that. It's like, she doesn't know that. Secret coded language that not everybody can read. Millions can, but my grandma's not one of them, I guess. It's true, many VTubers can't read. Nah! I'll have you know I'm very literate. I've even been reading books lately, now that I have a tablet that is a more appropriate size for reading. I'll have you know, I'm very literate. If anything, I've had to get used to reading fiction again, actually. I don't know if I talked about this on stream, but like, one of the things I felt when I started reading novels again was that like, because like most of the reading I'd done in the past few years, right? It was either like nonfiction, like articles and stuff, or it was fiction that had like a large visual component, right? So it'd be like, you know, visual novels or manga or like video games with like a very story reading heavy component to it, right? So I feel like there are certain, I guess, brain muscles that I just hadn't exercised in a while. Because like I found when I was reading fiction again, there was a lot of things that I had to keep track of that I was kind of struggling with that I didn't used to struggle with. And like I feel like I've definitely gotten better with it again. But it was things like keeping track of which character is speaking during like conversational dialogue, right? Or what else? Like things like if you're reading a manga and you forget a character's name, it's usually not a huge deal because if you remember what they look like, you're like, oh yeah, it's that guy, right? But like if you forget a character's name in a novel and you go back and read a sentence, you're like, who is that again? And you're a lot more lost, right? Yeah, visual novels feel like they have less of a visual component, more of an audio component. Maybe if they have voice acting. But like, yeah, for visual novels, like again, it was a muscle that I didn't even think I could lose until I realized I had to strengthen it again. Because again, with visual novels, it's pretty clear most of the time who's talking because of the format of visual novels. Hi, Eggy. Hello, Wonder Waffle. Good evening. Because yeah, like voice acting helps and stuff, but like a lot of the time with visual novels, it's like it's very clear who's talking and what order they're talking in, right? Eggy, drink water? Of course. And manga is like the same, right? Because you got like speech bubbles and stuff. And I mean, sometimes you might have some manga. I feel like in manga, like if you can't tell which character is talking at any given time, usually that's like a failure of page layout more than anything else, right? So, yeah. But yeah, no, it's like, again, I feel the muscles strengthening again as I read more and more. But it was something that I'm like, wow, this wasn't something I used to struggle with, but it is something I was struggling with now. And I'm like, interesting. And like, I don't know, again, it's come back to me pretty quickly, but I think that's also because like, I read so much as a kid. Like, I read so many books as a kid that like, I probably just had like, I developed that muscle a lot and then completely lost it. And again, it's not like I never read since then. It was just like I was reading something different in a different format that did not exercise those specific muscles. But yeah. Visual novel. I finished Paranormasight 2. I highly recommend Paranormasight 2. See, I have been visual novel gaming. I have... Oh, I played some more Gnosia as well. I have not finished Gnosia, but based on what I have played of Gnosia, I recommend Gnosia as well. And maybe I should have recommended all of these before the Steam sale ended. Whoops. But yeah, Gnosia is fun. Now that I've finally gotten the hang of things, I think it's a mix of like, I've raised my stats in game enough to be able to like, not completely get decimated every single round. But also I've gotten good enough at the game that I can like, feel reasonably confident whenever I'm doing anything. Because yeah, for people who are not aware, Gnosia is it's sort of a visual novel, but it's more of a social deduction game, I guess. It's kind of like, it's literally just like Werewolf or like Mafia or like, you know, like games of that nature, where you have to find the fake, and you must do so through social deduction. And a lot of the game is being able to spot like, because it is a single player game, so what you're looking at is a lot of like, you know, individual characters, like NPC behavior. So basically, kind of the way to win is not only to be able to like spot unusual NPC behavior, but also to like be able to convince the rest of the group that this person is acting out of line, which makes it challenging sometimes. But like, again, as you play more, you kind of get a feel for these characters and like, they will usually do this, or in this situation they will do this, and if they do this, then that's suspicious, kind of thing. But it is kind of frustrating too, though. Because I feel like every time I'm playing, it's one of those things where I guess maybe it's like a playing on the offensive versus playing on the defensive, right? Because if you're playing as the Gnosia, which is like basically like that game's version of like the werewolf or the mafia members or whatnot, right? Like the people who are trying to kill everybody else. Imposter Among Us, right? If you're playing as them, I feel like when you're on the offensive, it's a lot easier to be like, I feel like every time I'm playing as a Gnosia, I'm like, yeah, my teammates are doing really well. And like, I don't know, if one of the other Gnosia starts doing some nonsense, I feel like I can like, oh yeah, I'll just follow along because like, as long as we end up winning in the end, it's fine, right? But whereas I feel like when I'm playing as crew, I'm like, oh my god, everybody is so stupid. Oh my god. Like, every time like somebody gets like voted off and then it turns out that they were not Gnosia, I'm like, oh my god, you're all so stupid. But like, I feel like that's like the thing of like, when you're playing on the offensive versus playing on the defensive, I guess the dynamic of the team is different, right? Because like, I guess that's the other thing when you're playing on the offensive is that like, you know who your teammates are, right? Whereas when you're playing as crew, you don't know who's on your side and who isn't, right? So I guess that is one of those things where it's like, it's the suspicion that makes everybody act in ways that make you go, ugh. You know? But yeah, highly recommend Gnosia. Go pick it up in whenever the next Steam sale is. When is it? Like June, I think? I think it's like a summer sale's in June, right? unless it goes on sale between now and then. I know sometimes they do sales. Sometimes like random sales will happen. Or sometimes you'll have sales that are like for like anniversary of this or like sale on this genre of games. So maybe if there's like a visual novel sale between now and then, it might end up on sale as well. Visual novel gaming. Visual novel gaming. Oh yeah. I should be more visual novel gaming. But yes, the room is open if anybody would like to rejoin. The Zhong is still open. Visual novel gaming. I don't know. Is there any more visual novel gaming? I mean, actually, I think I did buy some things on Steam sale, so I guess once I finish Gnosia, I'll have other things to work on. Or I'll just go back to Umineko. You being the wheelchair girl and getting no one to join is extra sad. I'm being bullied here. I'm being bullied here. Would you love me? I'm being bullied. I'm being bullied here. No one's coming to my birthday party. Would you love me if I was Cinema Roll? I'm Cinema Roll now. Do you love me now? I'm being bullied. I don't know if I had any knowledge of Mahjong. You don't need to have any knowledge of Mahjong. Just press random tiles and hope to get lucky. No, I'm going back to Wheelchair Girl, I think. Because I simply like her. Can't believe his name is Zex. I never actually played as him, I think. He's the only, like, non-collab male character I think I have. Yeah, all the other ones I have are from, Gintama. Yeah, he's the only non-collab male character I've had. I've never used him. Maybe I'll use him. I've never used him at all. Zex. Plural. You know what's been living in my brain lately? Even though I don't think I've ever really played very far into Final Fantasy VII. And I haven't played any of, like, the remakes or anything. But, like, somebody told me about the, like, Mi Gongaga voice line. And I've just been thinking about Mi Gongaga for, like... for, like, the past month or so. I don't know why Mi Gongaga has been, like, living in my brain. Just... I'll be walking. I'll be, like, at the mall. I'll be, like, shopping for... skincare, and I'll just be like in the store and I'll just think me Gongaga. This game free? What's the name? This is Mahjong Soul. It costs $0. It feels like something a baby says and you're just gonna nod and go, yeah, oh man, that's right. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Is that your Peggle 2 of the month? No, because Peggle 2 is... I still use Peggle 2. Because, like, there's so many things that are Thing 2 that, like... Oh, you know what's also been in my brain? He's green for an amazing reason. Egg. Hi, Eggy. Hello, Azurshot. Hello. Now when anything is any color, it's for an amazing reason, in my mind. He's green for an amazing reason. Like, I think the other day I was, like, playing a game, and I was, like, my character got poisoned, and, like, when you're poisoned, you turn green, and all I could think was just, like, he's green for an amazing reason. That's all I think about. Peggle 2 is still Peggle 2. Mi Gongaga and Peggle 2 can, like, they can coexist. They can two brain rots can coexist, okay? The eggyisms, eggy brainworms, let it. I don't know, what's eggyisms? Peggle 2 is not an eggyism, because I feel like I didn't invent it, nor did I popularize it. Slepa-whack, I would say, would count. Slepa-whack, if you want to consider that an eggyism, that counts. Slepa-whack, Skewy, I think would probably, that qualifies, I think. Skewy. It's Skewy. Nearly 5 gigabytes for Mahjong? Is it that big? I mean, the upside though is that it can run on basically anything. Like, I can Jong on my, like, 2019 iPad, so... It's not free. Sub to Eggy so you have permission to download it on Steam. Only those subscribed to NiceEggy have the permission to know about what Mahjong is. Let alone play it. Does it show your Steam username to other players? No. I think you make a username in-game. You make a username in the game. Which, like, I don't know. If you want that to be your Steam username, I guess there's nothing stopping you. But yeah, Yostar, especially lately, Yostar's been like, make a Yostar account. Make a Yostar account. You better be making a Yostar account. And then eventually they're like, okay, make a Yostar account now because we're fully switching over to Yostar accounts. So, yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with your Steam username. I just use email sign up. Well, I think when I signed up, like, I signed up with Gmail, I think, when I made my account. So, but then it was like, make a Yostar account, make a Yostar account, Eggy, make a Yostar account. Every time I started up the game. I don't even know if it was doing that with any of their other games. Like, I don't play... What else does Yostar do? Like, Arknights? I don't play Arknights, so I'm like, I don't know if it was happening to Arknight players, too. Whoa. Yeah, just use email sign up. Connected accounts can be a pain. Yeah. I think my other minor annoyance is, I think Cygames also does the same thing where, like, I think, like, obviously you don't need, like, a Cygames account to play Uma Musume, but there's certain things, like, I think if you want to buy, like, carrots off of the Cygames store, you have to make a Cygames account, which bugged me a little. Extremely minor annoyance, but annoyance nonetheless. But at the very least, like, they're not, like, you know, make a Cygames account, make a Cygames account now, make a Cygames account. Because, like, I don't play under any other Cygames games other than Uma. Ormps. Horse. Oh yeah, I guess maybe, I don't know. I wonder, like, didn't they make, like, an Idolmaster, English Twitter account today? I wonder if they're gonna bring, like, any of the Idolmaster games to English. Like, what's the one that they have right now? Like, Gakumas? I guess maybe they saw how popular Uma Musume was, and they're like, oh, whoops, turns out we have a game that's, like, really similar. Oops, turns out that the people overseas might actually want that. Human Idol is over. It's horse year. It is so horse year. I was thinking about this recently. I was like, you know what? Uma Musume is popular. And then on top of that, we have Steel Ball Run this year. And I'm like, yeah, it really is Year of the Horse. Really is Year of the Horse. A friend spotted some Prime Rage Babe at Twitter. Do not bring it in here. I think I know which one you're talking about, though. I feel like most of the responses I've seen to Idolmaster EN, like to the Twitter account opening, have been rage bait of some kind. But I'm committed to staying normal. A bunch of Uma Musume fans just saved a racetrack in Argentina and it reached to the Japanese. Yeah, I know that's been... I have heard of, like... I've also heard of American racing fans getting confused now that there's, like, a lot of racetracks are now having a bunch of people showing up in Uma Musume cosplay. You now keep your face is crazy. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's all... I feel like everything I've seen about it has been rage bait. Like, the people who are normal about Idolmaster are like, oh, okay, cool. And then they go back to liking Idolmaster. I don't know. I'm determined to become the last normal person on the internet. I hope it won't come to that. Did you figure out what you're doing on Wednesday? Yes. There's a couple more things I think I have to set up for it, but yes, I know what I'm doing. Best question to that IMS announcement was when's the EOS announcement? Oh, is this like the Love Live thing where it's like Love Live, like their new, what was it, the Love Live game that like premiered? Like they announced that their game was being released in English, and then within the same announcement, they were like, this is coming this February. Anyway, it's closing down in May. Yeah, School Idol Festival 2. Yeah, it was around for like 4 months in English or something. The only game to announce its like opening and closure in the same tweet. Gotta make an account outside the game. Yeah, oh, is asking you to make a Yostar account? That's probably it. Yeah, I respect them for releasing it. Well, I mean, I can't imagine what would have been going on behind the scenes, because the only thing I could imagine is maybe they were like, okay, we're gonna have an English release for this, but then they were like, I guess it just wasn't doing as well in Japanese as they were hoping, but then by the time they realized, oh, we need to shut this down, then the English release was like almost ready. So I guess it was like probably like a weird like sunk cost situation where they're like, well, we can't just not do it. Yeah, you don't need to download the game. It's playable through browser, but yeah, but you need to make an account. I think that's the thing. Yeah, you can play it through browser, though. I don't think the browser is any slower, though. I played with browser for the longest time. In fact, I think the game on PC, it was like entirely browser-based until like 2023, I think. Like, for several years, if you wanted to play on the computer, then you had to just use the browser. That was a waste of disk space. Again, if you're worried about 5 gigabytes, I can't imagine how small your disk must be. I don't know what my biggest game is, but it's certainly not Zhong. Yeah, what is my biggest game? I don't know if there's like an easy way to figure that out. Can I do sort by... Scroll to the top. Sort by recent activity? Can I... Oh, I want to see if I can I sort by like... I guess I can't. I want to see if I could like sort by like file size. It says in the settings. Yeah, but then I have to go for like every game. Like, I guess I can look at like which games I think might be bigger. Because a lot of them are visual novels, right? Like the House of Fata Morgana is small. That's probably not gonna be very big. Let's see. Maybe Nier Automata would probably be bigger. Properties? Okay, so Nier Automata is 40.88 gigabytes. Maybe... Do I even have Persona 5 Royal installed? Let me see. Persona 5 Royal. I don't have it downloaded. I don't have it installed, so it doesn't tell me. It's probably on the bigger end. Because, like, most of the games I have are probably tiny. Like, probably not any more than 5 or 6 gigabytes. Maybe Yakuza 0 is on the bigger end? Maybe? Alright, welcome Mechlam. Let's get zhonging. Royal's like 20 to 30 gigabytes. Really? Royal is smaller than Nier Automata? I don't know, because like I don't play a lot of like big AAA, like 1 billion polygon, like big spec games because I don't have a machine that can run them. So I guess like, yeah, I've always limited myself in that way, in the sense of like, yeah, all my games are gonna be smaller because like, that's just the way it's gonna be. A high quality VN is bigger than the average game. Yeah, but like, okay, keep in mind that like, a game that is mostly just like, I guess, what do you mean by high quality? Does it have to be installed? I think it does. It won't tell me straight off the bat. I mean, I guess maybe if I go to the store page. Which on the Holy Night is 16 gigabytes for some reason. Does it have like, are the sprites animated? Because I guess if the sprites are animated, maybe that would make it bigger. But like, I think about something like Fata Morgana, which is just like PNGs. There is no sprites. Oh, does it use 3D models? Okay, well then that would make sense, I guess. It's all backgrounds and illustrations. I guess maybe if it's like in animated combat sequences. Okay, well that's probably where it's all going, right? Yeah, higher quality audio or videos help with size too. Yeah. I guess if there's like animated cutscenes or something. But like, I don't know, I think of like visual novels, like the more classic ones that are kind of just like this is just text, like this is PDF with like some illustrations, right? This is a collection of like text and some PNGs, so like it will run on anything and very small. Like, I don't know, what do you consider a small game though? Because maybe like, I feel like over time that has probably gotten like inflated. I wonder too, because I've also have some games that are like ports of other games for instance, like Danganronpa. I don't know how big Danganronpa is, but like Danganronpa is a port of a game for like, what was it? Originally like the PSP or like the PS Vita. So like obviously the just by that nature, I feel like it's probably smaller than some other games. Yeah, a small game these days is like less than 500 megabytes. Really? Single digit gigas is small. Yeah, because to me I consider like less than 5 gigabytes to be like a small game. Like, I feel like it's very rare that I even download anything that's bigger than like 20 gigabytes, I feel. But also, yeah, again, maybe things have just gotten out of hand in the past few years. And we're all delusional about what the file size for something should be. Yeah, your bandwidth isn't capable of downloading more than 20 gigabytes without you spending an entire day on it. It's not that bad, actually. It's better than it used to be. I think I've talked on stream about how I used to, like, I used to buy games on Steam at home, and then I would go to school to download them. And, like, to install them, because it would, like, legitimately, the school Wi-Fi was faster than my Wi-Fi at home. It's not that bad anymore. Like, I can now purchase a game and have it reasonably installed. Like, most games I feel like can be installed within less than an hour. Which I know some people might be like, oh, ha, ha, ha. I install everything in 5 minutes. But, like, yeah. Certain things will slow it down. Like, obviously, if I try to install something while I'm streaming, obviously it will be slower. But yeah, most things I feel like there's not like leaving your computer sitting there for 4 hours to download a game. I feel like I haven't done that in a very long time. That hasn't been the case in a while. Okay, maybe I'm setting myself up for failure with this. Well, there's still time. Okay. Yeah, Valhalla is 200 millibytes? Megabytes? Megabytes. It's not millibytes. Nothing's 200 millibytes. Eggabytes. I don't know. Eggabytes sounds like, I don't know. Eggy if breakfast cereal. Eggabytes. Yum. Oh, also, thing today, I bought ingredients to make tomato soup. I think maybe I'll try making that this week. I want to try making tomato soup from scratch. Okay. Not as doomed as I thought I was. Still pretty doomed, but not as much as I thought. Yeah, I want to try making tomato soup. I think, I don't know, I'm wondering, because I was at the grocery store, though, and, the kind of tomatoes that you need for making tomato soup, I think they're called Roma tomatoes. All the ones that they had left, I don't know if they just hadn't restocked them in a while, or if everybody suddenly had the same idea as me to go make tomato soup, because, like, there was, like, nothing. Even the ones I got, I think, were not, like, they were not the best ones. They were they looked kind of pale and not quite ripe, but, yeah, all the ones that they had were, like, super bruised and stuff. So I don't know. Did everybody else have the same idea to be like, today I will try to make tomato soup from scratch? But I don't know. Most of the ingredients, what did I have to buy today? There was a few things I did have to buy. Like, I had to buy chicken broth. And then I had to buy, what else did I have to buy specifically for this recipe? I had to buy an onion. But a lot of stuff, like, I have garlic. I have herbs and spices. Sorry, that was too good to pass up. I will make a roasted tomato soup. If the tomatoes aren't great, it might be a little dull, but I will make soup. Soup VTuber. Groceries VTuber? Soup VTuber. Not cooking VTuber. Just soup. Just soup. Yummy soup. It's so rewarding. I don't like most tomato soups. When you actually make it, it's so good. Well, I imagine probably when it comes to tomato soup, right? Like if you're getting the ones that are canned, like I imagine the canned tomato soup, they probably have to like prepare it in a certain way so it'll last longer, which is probably why it's so salty. Whereas I guess if you make it fresh, then like you are more in control of that, right? Full of soup or soup itself? Yes. Soup and soup discussions. Talks about soup. But yeah, roasting helps the flavor. It's nice. Yeah, I guess it also depends what you roast it with too, right? Because like you're not roasting. I think the recipe that again, it was within like the first page of Google, so like I'll have to see how good it is. But like the one I had involved like you have garlic and soup, not soup. You have tomatoes and garlic and onions. I saw some other recipes that involve like red peppers or I saw ones too, because like the one that I was looking at, you put the garlic in like right away. I saw some other ones that are like you roast everything else and then you roast the garlic, but only for a little bit, like you put it in last. But yeah, soup mo. Yummy soup. I should probably make, I don't know, I had garlic confit once, because I know garlic confit is like not terribly difficult to make, right? Like garlic confit is like it's pretty much just like put it in the oven with butter and then take it out after a while. And then like you can spread it. It's like soft enough to like spread on bread or use for other things. I don't know how long it keeps though. Because like the one time I had it, it was like eaten pretty much right away. But I don't know how long it takes, like how long you can keep it. Like, I don't know, garlic itself lasts for a pretty long time and butter itself lasts for a pretty long time. So I'm sure together it probably is not terribly difficult, but yummy, yummy soups. But anything, what else do I want to try cooking? I feel like I've like, last week I made salmon. I feel like I might have burnt out on chicken thighs for the moment. I have some more in the freezer if I change my mind, but I'm like, no, I need something different. Maybe this will be soup and grilled cheese era. Or maybe I need one of those like, what do they call them? Like, those they're pots, but they're made of like stone or clay or something. It's like the kind that they use for making like Japanese soups, where like you can like cook in it, but then eat right out of it. Okay, you know what? I guess I'm going all in on this strategy. Okay. Yeah, where you can like clay pot. Yeah, like a clay pot to. I feel like there's a specific word for it, but I can't remember. But maybe it's like one of those things where the word for it varies by the language. Because I feel like I've seen all sorts of Asian recipes use it. Like I've seen Korean recipes and Japanese recipes and Chinese recipes use it. So maybe they each have their own word for it. But it's yeah, just like they're made out of like stone or clay, and then like you can eat right out of it, and it makes things look simpler. So I'm like, I kind of want to get one of those. But I don't know what exactly I would do with it, other than, like, nebulous soup. Like, I remember last year, I used to do a soup, where I would, like, get those, like hot pot meats, and just, like, put a couple in there. But then the other thing I learned is that, like, hot pot meats, go bad pretty quickly, because, like, even if you keep it in the freezer, because they are, like, cut so thin, they expire a lot faster, so I have to be careful with that. But I guess, like, I know you can actually go to, like, Asian supermarkets. A lot of them will have just, like... Like, you can buy just straight up, like, hot pot ingredients. Like, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna buy, like, 3 of those little tofu lucky bags, and, like, you can just do that. I guess I could do that sometime. Just make it at home. Are you kidding me? Okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with soup. Nah! Oh, wait. Oh, a second? That's not my problem. That's not my problem. Not my problem at all. Literally not my problem. I mean, it is my problem in the sense that I'm... Actually, it's not my problem. I'm in 3rd place now. Literally not my problem. Not my problem at all. Congratulations, Mechlam. I think this is the first time you've played here, isn't it? Starting off strong. Thank you, Nanoram Punk Asian, for playing. Rest in peace, Punk Asian. This is the 2nd time you've lost tonight, isn't it, I think? Rest in peace. But I think for the moment, I think I need to, way to rub it in. I don't know, it's a you problem. Skill issue. For the moment though, I'm sorry I need to step away for like a 2nd time. But it's for completely unrelated reason from the 1st time. So I will be back momentarily. But again, you get 2 faces. You get 2 faces tonight. Everybody loves when I step away from the keyboard and make a silly face. So you get 2 of them tonight. Bonus Eggy face. I will see you momentarily. Actually, hold on, I might need to pause the music because I feel like I'm gonna be too far away when I go to the washroom and the music is gonna stop. So please enjoy this music. Alright, return of egg. Return of egg. Return of normal music. There we go. Here we go. We back. Man, ad starts in 1 minute 46 seconds. Man, I could have just waited for the ad. If I would have known, I would have just waited. Yeah. Oh, are we trying to teach Remy how to zhong? But yes. I wouldn't say you can avoid using the Ponchi buttons and you will automatically win. I wouldn't say that, but I would say don't fall for the shiny button. Beginner mistake is to fall for the shiny buttons. Everybody clicks the shiny buttons, and then they're like, why am I not winning? So you can get around this by using the shiny buttons very sparingly. The only ones that you should always click if you have the opportunity are Tsumo and Ron. Any of the other shiny buttons, you can live with or without. Yeah, Richi is usually, yeah. If you can press the Richi button, you should probably press that too. Yes, you can press the Ron. Press the Ron button. You should always press those. The other ones you can do without. You can do without those, it's fine. Yeah. The first game, just looking at Richi and completing hands is fine. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, I think the game makes you play through the tutorial. No, it doesn't make you, because I guess it assumes... I should probably take the washroom sign down. Hold on. There we go. We're no longer washroom. Washroom is over. Washroom is complete. But yeah, if you're just starting, I guess, don't press the shiny buttons is probably a very valuable lesson. I mean, there is a tutorial, though. There is a tutorial. You don't need to 100% learn Mahjong through Twitch chat. Zhong info dump. But yeah, very much is one of those games you do have to... Also, don't make my mistake, okay? When we talk about what combinations of tiles we need to make, they need to be in your hand, that is to say, they need to be in the row that is in front of you. Don't make my mistake. The discard pile is not where you need to make the combinations. Don't make my mistake. Oh no, I came back home and just missed a washroom. Oh no! There was also a laundry earlier. Yes, good evening, Penbu. Good evening. But yeah. Don't put them in the discard pile. Important life lessons. Do not throw all the tiles you need into the discard pile. Do not put them in the garbage. But yeah. Again, it's a game with one of those games that's like, it's not difficult to learn, but it is difficult to get good at it, I guess. But I believe in you. I believe everyone can learn to zhong. Pro strat, eat the tiles so other people can't steal them. If someone calls Richi, eat their stick. Eat their stick before they can put it down, then it doesn't count. Do other people teach Mahjong in multiple steps, introducing new concepts as you go? Yeah, yeah. I just think that don't put the tiles you need into the discard pile. Is an important lesson. Just remember I got turkey beef jerky in the fridge. In the fridge? Why is it in the fridge? Isn't the whole point of like jerky that you don't have to refrigerate it? Maybe it's different for different meats. Yeah. I'm not even bothering with Mahjong terms. I'm not gonna remember what a kanchan is or whatever. Well, I also have noticed, I feel like there's also like some people who learn it with the Japanese terms and some people who learn it with English. Even within Mahjong Soul, I feel like they're not fully consistent with which language they're saying these in. Because I feel like there's some terms that they use in Japanese and some that they do in English. And then sometimes people will be like, oh yeah, this is toy toy. And you're like, toy toy? And then you have to like look it up and it's like, oh, all triples, okay. Oh, this is Chitoy, and you're like, what's that again? But then for other words, they use the Japanese term, so I'm not sure how they decided which one to, what to use which for, but... Yeah, I played Mahjong Yakuza 0 once after Mahjong Soul, and I was lost. Well, yeah, because I don't put the numbers on the tiles, right? And they probably use more of the Japanese terms for everything. And that's probably not to mention like other forms of Mahjong, like other variations, right? Because this is like Richi Mahjong, so this is like the Japanese variant. But like I know other countries and other regions have their own variants, which have like slight differences, like different changes to the rules. So I know that that's like another thing. Eggy quick, Sanshoku Doko. I have no idea. I haven't the faintest clue. Tenshoku Doko. Is it a big hand or a small one? Yaku overview time. Ah! I mean, I also know that there's also certain terminology that just like does not show up in Mahjong Soul. Like I didn't learn about chombo until I played like IRL. Because like in Mahjong Soul, you literally cannot chombo. Like, chombo is essentially when you, like, make a wrong call. So, like, if you call sumo and it turns out that you do not have a qualifying hand, then, like, that counts as chombo, which is basically, like, yeah, you screwed up. So, yeah, you literally cannot chombo in Mahjong Soul just because, like, if you don't have the correct tiles to call something, it's not gonna prompt you. Like, you can't call something when you don't have it, right? So yeah, like that was a term I didn't learn until playing Mahjong IRL because like you can't do it in any form of. I don't think you can chombo in like any digital form of Mahjong really. Because like I don't know why anybody like. I guess even if you were making your own version of online Mahjong, like why would you program screwing up into it? Like I feel like every like Mahjong digital version of Mahjong I've played, you can only call stuff when you're prompted to do so, and it will only prompt you to do so. You can on the auto table penbu that you play on, or on tabletop sim. Okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say, like, why would you, like, every version I've seen, they usually, it's like you can only call when you're prompted to do so, and it will only prompt you to do so when you have something that qualifies, right? Like, it would be kind of weird to, like, programming. Like, what if we made it easier for people to mess up? But I guess maybe if you're trying to go for realistic, then that is ideal. Chasing Yakuman is the Byoki of the Shoshinsha. Okay, well now some of those are just normal. That's not even Mahjong terminology. Some of those I think are just, like, normal Japanese words. There's also a 2-player bamboo game that lets you chombo, but that's not 4-player Mahjong. 2-player bamboo game? What if we just started using the word chombo for, like, messing up on anything? Like you like miscalculate the total of your purchase and you're like, oh, chombo. It was like, I don't know, Yaku overview. What was it you wanted to look for? It was Sanshoku Doko? You said it was Tuhan. Sanshoku Doko. Again, they use the English words for all of these. At what point do they start using? Because I feel like they've used Richi in Japanese. But like all of these, oh, Pinfu, okay, I guess they use the, Pinfu they use the Japanese one. Ipatsu, okay. Dora, I guess Dora is Dora. And then for the local Yaku, it looks like they use the Japanese words. But like all the common ones, they use all the common ones. Half flush, full flush, mangan, yakuman. Yeah, they use the English version for a lot of these. Triple triplets, I think? No, isn't triple triplets... Do you mean triple quadruplets? Because I'm pretty sure triple triplets is, oh, wait, no, okay, I guess that makes sense. Like 3 triplets and then 2 not triplet things. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Because yeah, Yakuman, it's like, yeah, that's all English, all honors, all terminals, 13 orphans. Oh, little wins. Double Yakuman. Yeah. It was triple triplets in the Tuhan section. Ah, okay. Yeah. Is 3 the same number on different suits? Concealed. Oh, quad triple is a Yakuman. Concealed though. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of Toy Toy. I was thinking it was Toy Toy. That's probably. I'm always thinking about Toy Toy. Actually, that's a lie. What I'm actually thinking about is usually Chitoy. I'm always thinking about Chitoy, but in times of difficulty, I start thinking of Toy Toy. I don't know. I remember talking to someone about this once, because it's like, yeah, Toy Toy and Chitoy, like, in terms of points, there's not, like, a huge difference there. But, like, I don't know. Something about Chitoy feels more powerful, because, like, Chitoy you can only get by, like, luck and patience. Like, you can't make any calls that will result in Chitoy, right? In fact, calling anything will probably ruin your ability to do so, right? So I feel like something about like Chitoy just feels like, it's like, yeah, I waited. I sat here and waited for these tiles, you know? As opposed to Toy Toy, where it's like, you can just call a bunch of times and win like that. And it's like, okay, but like, that doesn't feel earned, you know? Chitoy feels earned. Yeah. Toy Toy is more flexible. Proximal with Yakuhai. I mean, yeah, but like, again, it feels less earned. Even if it is more flexible. I mean, I guess it is more flexible in the sense, but I don't know. Toy Toy is like, I feel like when I try to do Chitoy, if I'm doing like if I'm trying to Chitoy and it's failing, then usually like that's when I'm like, okay, well, we're pivoting. We're pivoting. Yeah, Chitoy makes the table more likely to draw. You don't have that power with Toy Toy. Yeah, that too. Oh yeah, because that's true. If you're holding on to 2 tiles of something, then like that you're more likely to be like, someone out there is trying to wait for one of those tiles and you're just keeping it from them. Did you do that Uma quiz that has been going around? Yes, actually. To nobody's surprise, I got Meisho Doto. Like, I went in, I'm like, I'm probably gonna end up getting Meisho Doto, and then I got Meisho Doto. I don't know if that's like the most common result. What did you get? Did you guys also all get Meisho Doto? At least you didn't get Nice Nature. I don't think I've seen a single person who's gotten Nice Nature. Is it in the game? No, it was like a fan-made thing. Got Cesario. Yeah, it's not in the game. You might have to look around. If you see somebody on Twitter who posted about it, they might have like the link in the replies. I got Nice Nature. No! Does anyone have a link? Does anyone have a link? Links for the poor. Can anybody spare a link? My boy. Umas. But you're playing Zelda. Wait, what? Oh, Link. Link for the poor. I wanted Link. Link for the poor. Hey, and then you get a guy going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Links for the unemployed. I don't know, I hope to soon be eggployed. In the near future. Hopefully. Am I doing an autism test? I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, the person who made this quiz is has a degree in psychology or something. So I believe some of the, it is intentionally so. I think some of the questions are actually taken from various autism tests. Is it pure how I found out I'm artistic? I mean, to be fair, I feel like asking these questions in relation to Uma Musume is probably already filtering for a target audience here. But I got Nice Nature, but Meisho Doto tied her in every category except interest, where she fell behind by 1.5%. Interesting. I'll have to check, because I think maybe I'd have to do it again. I don't remember what my results were. I just remember I got Meisho Doto, but I don't remember what my other top ones. I think Oguri Cap was up there, I think. I don't remember exactly what my runner-ups were. You're at a library. What book do you pick up and read? Pick one. Again, it's one of those ones you just gotta pick the closest, you know? I think I picked the one up about, I chose the option, the one that was about sewing. Literally everyone gets Nice Nature. I didn't get Nice Nature. I don't think Nice Nature was even in my top few. Again, this is very imprudent playing. Very imprudent. Go, my natty things, no! Stop getting nice nature. You should be getting NiceEggy. Ooh. There we go. Winning. Winning. First place Eggy. Winning Eggy. Winning Eggy. But yeah, maybe I'll have to take the Uma quiz again. So I can actually like screenshot instead of being like, oh, interesting, and then like moving on with my day. Yeah, this is ADHD and autism. Yeah, again, like I said, these questions I'm pretty sure they have said like are straight up taken out of some like psychological assessments. I was with this game tutorial until it got to Yaku. How so? How so? Like, is the explanation of the Yaku confusing? Yeah, they're just the win conditions, yeah. Pretty much. There are many. Yeah. There are many, but like, only a few of them are common, and only a few of them really matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm in a bad situation. I'm in a bad situation. Through my own choices. In an unfortunate situation. There we go, okay. Situation is less unfortunate now, we're good. We will be okay. We will be fine, probably. What emotes does this guy have? I don't know. His emotes are fine. This one's kind of silly, I guess. Again, none of them are as good as like the wheelchair drifting. Oh. There we go. Still winning egg. Egg pats? Oh, egg pats. Hold on. Hold on. Like, give me like 2 seconds. Oh, am I on first? Are you kidding me? Hold on. Okay. I don't know why. The egg pats sometimes manifest automatically and sometimes not. Here we go. Egg pats. Egg pats. There we go. Okay. Half outside hand. I accidentally saw this new player the other day and they instantly tried to go for it. Instantly? How do I keep all the tiles I want to keep without having to get rid of the tiles that I might have to get rid of? The daily conundrum. I think it would be nice to get tiles that I want instead of tiles that I don't want. Does anybody else agree? I think it's probably better to have that. Far more useful. I mean, I say it free things I want instead of free things I would want. Exactly! Exactly. Peppermints after dentist? Worthless. Give me USB cables. We need to have, like, you know when you're a kid and you have, like, those, like, prize buckets sometimes? It's like, we need that, except, like, as an adult, and it's just full of things that are, like, minorly useful. Like, it's like you said, like, a USB cord. Or, like, you know, a nail clippers or something. Something you're like, I don't think I didn't think of getting this, but now that you mention it. Fresh socks, Germex, yeah, hand sanitizer, maybe a pipe cleaner. What are some other items? I feel like hand sanitizer. My problem with hand sanitizer is I keep, like, forgetting to take the empty bottles out of my purse. So every time I am somewhere and I need to use hand sanitizer, I'm like, okay, I have hand sanitizer in my purse. And I'm like, okay, not this bottle. Okay, not this bottle. Okay, not this bottle. Okay, not this bottle. Like, okay, not this one. Okay, not this one. Not this one either. Ooh. I'm still first, but ooh. I had 1 bajillion Dora. I had 1 bajillion Dora. I couldn't take advantage of any of them. Microfiber cloth? Yeah, microfiber cloth. Felt pens. Maybe like individual tea bags. I don't know, I feel like maybe those like individual packets of instant coffee would be like, I don't know, hand those out to parents on Halloween or something. Yeah, so long as they're each wrapped. Yeah, like it would be like the little tea bag envelopes, right? I don't know though, I feel like I've had some like instant coffees before though that felt like Like, they were so sweet that it felt like I was drinking hot chocolate that just happened to be, like, coffee flavored instead of chocolate flavored. Like, some of them are already pretty sweet. I feel like you have to specifically seek out ones that specifically say, like, non-sweetness. Hello, Faye. Hello, Faye. Good morning. The queen of bad awacks. Wow. Everybody wants me to awack badly. I can't believe the eggplants want bad things to happen to me. Unbelievably rude. How dare they? Also, thank you for paying your taxes. The eggplants are like, healthy sleep schedule? No. We want her to have bad awacks all the time. Never a good awack. The less successful you are, the more you stream. We're incentivized. No, Eggy, never find a job. Never find a job. Otherwise you'll stream less. Can we celebrate whenever you have a good slep? I mean, yes, ideally. Ideally, you should be somewhere being like, I hope Eggy had a good awack. Whoa. How about Pats instead of paying my taxes? My financial planner is going to hurt me. Don't worry. The eggplant IRS is not too strict on that. You can pay your eggplant taxes whenever is most convenient. You having a good sleep schedule means you are no longer a potential woman. Potential woman? I mean, I know that I mean, okay, I fully acknowledge that I'm very much potential VTuber. What is it like? Would be and could be, but never is. Yeah, I am very much potential VTuber. That I'm not gonna argue with you on. Like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I would stop encouraging Eggy. I would stop supporting Eggy if she ever actually did something. Come. I don't know, I haven't had great sleep last night. It was like 5.5 hours. I woke up naturally 6:30 before my alarm, but I felt great and rested. It was a miracle. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes there's just like zero correlation between how much you slept and how a whack you feel when you get up. I've had times like that too. Like, there are times where I've slept like a full 8 hours and woke up and fell back asleep, and there's been other times where I like slept like 4 hours and I woke up and I'm like, yay, I feel nice and good. Sometimes there just really is no correlation. Sweep Tosho, who is that? It's Sweep Tosho. What's your problem? You rise out of your socioeconomic circumstances. You're abandoning us. The eggplant. The lower eggplant classes. I got an Agnes Tachyon on 3rd. I need to fix my... No! There's nothing wrong with getting any specific Uma. I know I am potential woman. You don't need to write an essay about it. I'm fully aware. Nobody is more aware of this than me. Trust me. Yeah, sometimes weekends I sometimes get 10 hours. Yeah, like I feel like there's got to be at least one time in my life where I've slept 12 hours despite there being like nothing wrong with me. Because like, you know, like if you're sick or something, like, yeah, that makes sense to sleep for like many hours a day. But like I feel like there's been times where there's been like nothing physically wrong with me, but I just somehow slept like over 10 hours for some reason. There we go. I am so good at Zhong tonight. I'm so Zhonging. Thank you for playing so you could lose to me. Thank you for playing. For Zhong. For Zhong. Thank you. Okay, I think the next one will be the last one because it is almost 11 p.m. So I think that, yeah, this next one will be the last one, I think, for tonight. I catch up on the lost sleep through the work week, at least that's my theory. Yeah, I guess that could be true. But like the difference is that like I feel like this for me is like a more recent development. Because I feel like when I was in, well, I don't know. Then again, maybe in university it's not quite the same, because like when you're in university, you don't necessarily have to wake up early every day because your classes are not always like I remember in university, obviously I'd be waking up early if I had like a class at like 8 a.m. But like that wasn't every day, right? That was usually once, maybe twice a week at most, depending on my schedule. So most of the time when did I wake up usually in university? Probably like if I had a day where I had like if I had nothing to do, like if I didn't have to be at work and I didn't have like a class until the evening, I probably would wake up sometime around like 8 or 9 a.m. I guess. That was usually my normal wake up time. So maybe university is not necessarily like the best, because I was like, you know, I used to be able to wake up at a relatively normal time, but I guess the normal time. 8 a.m. classes suck. I know! Because like, I already had like an hour and a half bus ride. I think the worst thing is 8 a.m. classes in the winter semester. Because it's like, cool, not only is it like early, but it's also like freezing because it's early. My college had heating. Okay, well, it's not about once you're inside. It's when you're getting there. Because the other thing too is that like 8 a.m. classes would have me on the bus at like rush hour, right? Or because it was 8:30 technically, right? So you're on the bus with everybody who's trying to get to work for like 9 a.m. So I remember like if I had a class at like, you know, in the middle of the afternoon, because I had some classes that were like 2:30 or something, and like 2:30 is a great time to take the bus because it's like, you know, no one's trying to get to work, no one's trying to get home, and it's a little late for lunch. So like the buses were pretty, like traffic was pretty smooth, but like it's like, oh, do you have a class at like 8:30 or a class at 5:30? Like good luck. But at least the 5:30 one, you don't have to get up early for it, you know? I'm now an adult, about 10 years in my career, and 8 a.m. still sucks. Yeah, again, I think it's also because I've had long commutes for most of my jobs. I don't know. I also think, like, I had a job that had me, like, 8:30 to 5, which I think is nonsense. I guess their justification is that, like, I don't know, your lunch isn't paid. But I'm like, okay, but then why have me at 8:30? You're just trying to make my life more difficult. But at least that was a job that had, like, the long commute. So I eventually just negotiated to be like, hey, just let me show up and leave like half an hour earlier because it lines up with the bus schedule way better. Because like otherwise I'm gonna show up at 8 a.m. anyway and I'm just gonna sit there doing nothing for half an hour before I can actually sign in and start working. So I might as well just like have me sign in and then just let me leave at like 4:30 instead of 5. Because like, again, the bus came like once an hour, so might as well have me leave at 4:30 so that I can like, you know, get to the bus. Because the bus came at what, like 4:40 or 4:45, right? So it's like, might as well just like have me leave at 4:30 and then I'll just have to wait like, you know, 10-15 minutes rather than having me leave at 5 and like wait like half an hour. Right? Like, at least they work with you on that. Yeah, well, because like I think it would have been horribly, I think I would have quit like after like 3 weeks if they hadn't, I think. Because it would have just been unreasonable. Like I would have been like sitting at the bus stop for like, because like yeah, if I would have left at like 5, I would have been sitting at the bus stop for like 45 minutes. Like that would have been like entirely unreasonable, I think. Do I hit the ready button where the start is? Yes, please do. Please do. Because we can't all start until everybody is ready. Yeah. Today's goal, make legal moves. It's okay, the game doesn't actually let you do anything illegal, so... You cannot do any Mahjong crimes, you're good. Hello, Sapling7419. Ooh. Ooh. That's what GTA is for? What, doing illegal Mahjong? I'm gonna chombo on purpose. Wait, can you play Mahjong in GTA? I've never played GTA. I don't know, I kind of want to. I want to join, because I know Kenki's been doing a few of them, and I think Bobeba has been in some of them too, of like GTA roleplay servers. Because I know there's been like a few VTuber specific ones, and everyone seems to be having a grand old time in them. But I also know that I don't think my computer, once I have the processor installed, I think that will be, I think maybe I would want to join that. Because everyone seems to be having a grand old time, and I'm like, I want to do that. That looks fun. I don't think I've ever really done roleplay anything, but yeah. I thought you meant like the Greater Toronto area. I mean, to be fair, I have gotten those confused before. Somebody will be tweeting about like Grand Theft Auto, and I'll be like, I don't think you can do that in the Greater Toronto area. But then again, I've also seen that the other way around, where somebody will like write about something going on in the Greater Toronto area, and I'll be like, wait, like the video game? You can play Mahjong in the Yakuza games. Yeah. I know a lot of people who have... I feel like when it comes to people who learn Mahjong from video games, it's like an even split between people who play Mahjong Soul, people who play Yakuza, and people who found it in Final Fantasy XIV. I think Final Fantasy XIV also has Zhong in it. I've also been told, I think, was it Love Nikki? Somebody was telling me, I think they added it to Love Nikki. Maybe I'm misremembering. But yeah, I have not done anything roleplay-ish before, but I do kind of want to join some of the VTuber GTA roleplay servers that I've seen. I don't know, I guess I've played a tabletop RPG once. I think it was like... It was actually shortly before I started streaming, like I think this was like early 2021. I played one with friends, and it was... I don't know, it was Pathfinder? It was fun. I liked it. I would do it again, but also like I was playing a very like social abilities character in a game, like in a campaign that was like pretty combat heavy. So I know the first half I think I enjoyed more than the second half, just because the first half was like I could do things, but the second half was mostly me throwing like tiny pebbles at every enemy. Because that's all my character could do. But yeah, I'd want to do it again. According to my friends, I was somewhat good at it. It is one of those things though, I guess. If you're doing like a full campaign as opposed to just like a one-shot, you do have to get like everybody available at the same time. I guess that's the bigger commitment, right? I guess when it's like RP in games though, it's different though, because it's like I don't know, your character might have stats, but I feel like that's not like the main important part. I remember my friend sending me, like, I was like, yeah, sure, I guess I can join this one-shot campaign. And he was like, cool, here's like a bajillion pages with a bunch of numbers and you need to pick one. And I'm like, okay. But I also know that apparently Pathfinder is like a very like stats numbers kind of game compared to some other tabletop RPGs. So that's probably not like the norm. Hold on, I think I need to switch out my headphones because I think this one's running out of battery. Where's the case? Here we go. I don't know. I was doing a lot of things by myself today, so I think I've had my headphones in like all day, so I'm like... I keep having a habit of like using my headphones and being like, why are my headphones out of battery? I can't believe my headphones are out of battery after I use them a whole bunch. Can you believe it? Okay, where are we at? Okay. Eggy! Hello, JT274. Hello. Where's Zhongning? This is the last game, though. After this, we'll have to raid into somebody. But I will not decide who, because every time I try to, like, decide ahead of time, then, like, they're always not live by the time I raid. Yeah, I gotta leave noise cancellation off if I want to have them to last for several hours. Yeah, well, usually, I think my other thing, too, is I usually put in one. Like, if I'm home alone, I put in one instead of both. I think the only times I put in both are, like, if I'm... I don't know, I guess if I'm at the gym, or if I'm in, like, a loud place. Like, if I'm on the bus, obviously, I'll put them both on, so the noise cancellation kicks in. But, yeah, if I'm at home, I usually put in just one. And then I just, like, switch them out when one of them's running out of battery. Because, I don't know, having both in just feels, like, too much. Like, I don't need noise cancellation if there's no noise to cancel. Like, the house is pretty quiet. But even before I got noise canceling ones, I think I would usually put in just one. Yeah, I can't do both unless I'm by myself and don't need to expect any disturbance. Yeah. I come from a family of people who get mad at me. Nah! I come from a family of people who get frustrated with me when I put both in because they're like, I was calling you and you have been ignoring us for like 5 minutes. So, yeah, that's kind of what I got used to. Yeah, congrats somebody on doing something. Good job. Congratulations. Good job. Are you listening to Miku Lo-Fi? I am. I am. I don't know. I was in a Miku Miku mood today. Miku. I don't know. Sometimes I'm Animal Crossing mood today, not so much. Even though the weather was nice. The weather was actually quite nice today. I think it was like almost 20 degrees. It was like high... It was well into the double digits, at least. It was quite nice. I went to the gym, and I did groceries, and then I went home, but I had the window open the whole day. Which I can do because I'm home by myself. Digits 2. Yes, digits 2. Yeah, it was pretty warm. It was nice out. I went out with just a sweater, and it was fine. And I opened the window. I should have opened a second window while I was at it. I only opened one. And soon spring allergies. Well, not yet. I don't think anyone's allergic to much of anything right now because the grass and plants... Well, I don't know. I saw a few things budding, and I think some of the daffodils are kind of starting to come through. But nothing with, like, buds or flowers. Nothing with pollen is sprouting yet. So I don't think that's quite a concern quite yet. But also, I don't think I've ever really been a spring allergy person. Like, I'm still to this day not 100% sure if I actually have allergies. Because I feel like there's been a couple times in my life where, like, I have gotten some minor cold, or maybe less minor. Like, I've gotten some kind of illness in the springtime, and then even once the rest of the symptoms are gone, then, like, there'll still be, like, a stuffy nose or, like, a cough that sticks around, like, it's like lingering symptoms. And then when I go to a doctor, they're like, allergies, I guess. So I'm like, I don't know. It's like, do I have allergies, but they're like only activated if I get sick in that time period? And then if I don't get sick in that time period, then just nothing happens. I don't know what Ron is, but I think I went, Ron is good. Good job. Good job. If you are offered the Ron button, you should click on it. That is a shiny button that you should click. Sumo is also a big shiny button that you should click. If anything, I think you're in what, in second place, I think? You're doing pretty well. My eyes get watery during spring is very annoying. Actually, no. Sometimes I do get watery eyes. But I feel like it's usually that's more of a late summer thing for me. Not really a springtime thing. And I remember actually also when I was in Japan, I think I experienced like mild like throat irritation that was, I'm assuming it was allergies because it was happening at the same time as everybody else was experiencing allergies. But I also know that Japan is a special case when it comes to pollen, so. Like, if I remember correctly, like, the reason why there are so many people in Japan that have to deal with, like, hay fever is, like, many years ago, there was, like, one specific kind of tree that they planted, and they planted a lot of it because it's a kind of tree that was very good for, like, lumber. But the problem is that when they planted, because you know how there's, like, male and female trees, right? Like, there's some that, I guess, like, dispense pollen and some that receive it. So I think they planted, like, it was, like, oops, all male trees. I don't know if that was intentional or if they just weren't thinking it through. But basically, yeah, at one point, I don't know if it was the government or a company, but, like, somebody out there just planted, like, a ton of the same kind of tree, and they were all male ones. So basically, there's one kind of tree, and there's so many of it, and they're all emitting pollen at the same time, which means that, like, I guess the pollen saturation is just way higher. So even somebody who's, like, slightly allergic to it will still be feeling the effects of it.
Come.
The consequences of arboreal cloning cannot be allowed to happen again. Rip the American chestnut tree. I have not heard of the American chestnut tree. And I imagine that's probably why. Because, yeah. I don't think anything like that has been done where I live, to my knowledge. But also, I don't think I live... Like, we have trees here, but, like, I wouldn't say we have, like, a ton of trees. Yeah, it's spring. You walk around the city, you smell something. Oh, the street has a bunch of ginkgo nut trees. Ginkgo nut trees? We have those here? I don't know. Nah. Nah. Okay. You know what? It's something. It's fine. It's Nah. Nah. I was like, it's something. No, it's nothing. It's less than nothing. Oh my god. I think it's absolutely nothing. It's literally nothing. It's nothing. I'm nothing. I'm Sub-Zero. Pembu, why? This is Remy's first game, and this is how you show him. This is not usually what happens, Remy. It's egg over raid. Pembu runs. Local streamer gets run so hard that the stream ends. This is Remy's first game. How is he supposed to have, like, what is he supposed to think of this game now? Look what you've done. Look what you've done. But yes, thank you for playing, though. And thank you to everybody who played tonight. This was the last game. It was short. I'm saying with much bitterness in my voice. It was short. But it was nice while it lasted. Yes, what an end, indeed. Let's see. I have a 50% win rate. Let's go! I mean, I guess, like, there was 2 games, right? And you won one of them and you lost one of them, I guess. But let's see who is online. Who is online? On twitch.television. Let's see. Bubba is doing ASMR. Any spice? Let's see. I thought Beba was jogging. I remember Beba. I saw the like Steam notification in the corner, and it was like Beba was like, "Oh yeah, it was like Bodega Rat is now playing Mahjong Soul." So I'm like, oh, she's streaming Zhong. But then no, I think she has a redeem that's like drop everything in Zhong. So that's probably what it was. You sleep at good time, sleep well, and I will cheer you for that. I will try to. I will put my phone upstairs tonight and set my alarm clock so that, like, I don't have to... I will have to get out of bed. Although I have a place to be tomorrow, so, like, I guess I do actually have to... I do actually have... Beeping Caber is cool if you want someone new. And before your phone volume is set too low. No. I have a separate alarm clock. I will set my alarm clock, and maybe I can set my iPad as like a backup. But then my phone itself, which is the Twitter machine will be on the kitchen table upstairs. So if I want to be able to use the Twitter machine, I'm gonna have to actually get myself, like, drag myself out of bed, go all the way up the stairs, and then, like, be in the kitchen, and then presumably while I'm in the kitchen, I can be like, well, you know, while I'm here, I might as well eat breakfast, right? It's not the phone, it's the visual novel. No, but you see, that's for going to bed. That's different than, like, being a whack. Because my problem lately has not just been going to bed late, it's also been, like, not getting out of bed on time. If anything, not getting out of bed on time actually bothers me more than, that bothers me more than going to bed at the bad time. All right. Bibinka. And what are they doing? What are they up to? Oh, they're yapping. They're yapping. I see two meow meows on the desk though. See two meow meows. I do enjoy seeing the two meow meows. Yeah. Am I spelling this right? Am I spelling this right? Yes, okay. Let's go Eggy Raid. Let's just go Eggy Raid because it's the first time. Eggy Raid. Eggy Raid. Bad Whack Raid? No, it's just gonna be Eggy Raid. Eggy Raid is the one I use always when I'm raiding somebody for the first time. So, but yes. So thank you for zhonging with me tonight. I will not be on tomorrow, but I will be on. I mean, I have something planned for April Fools on Wednesday, so don't worry. I think if I April Fools Wednesday, I think I might Zelda Thursday. Yeah, I think I'll Zelda Thursday. I didn't zhong? Well, that sounds like a you problem. But yes, I will. There will be Eggy this week. There will be Eggy this week. It will happen. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for being nice and good. Unless you weren't nice and good, in which case, no thank you for being mean and bad. And I am going to try and sleep at a more reasonable time. But until then, au revoir, and look at my cool end card. Bye-bye.